Chapter 3789. Where are they? Hurry up and come out. Don't let the palace master get angry. The experts in the surroundings also bellowed furiously. However, not a single person came out. At this moment, the people of the Fiend Palace were completely alarmed. The Fiend Overlord's complexion also darkened. Could it be that his subordinates ran away with the treasure? Thinking of this possibility, he was driven mad with anger. Damn it! Who dared to betray him? In the outer space, the people watching the battle also cried out in alarm. What was going on? No one came out. Could it be that the Fiend Overlord was really betrayed? That was possible. After all, that was a world soul. Who wouldn't covet it? One after another, discussions could be heard. The people of the Rain clan were also enraged. They were also frantically searching for the world soul. Right now, they didn't have time to ridicule the Fiend Overlord. They had to quickly find the world soul. The Fiend Overlord was also personally searching for the world soul. In the sky, a pair of fiend eyes swept through all directions, covering every corner of the world. However, he still didn't discover his subordinates. But soon he bellowed furiously. His palm directly covered the ground, creating a crack. Within the cracks, soil was churning and rocks were jumping about. There was also blood and bones buried within the cracks. The experts of the Fiend Palace were dumbstruck when they sensed the aura above. The Fiend Overlord also bellowed furiously. Damn it! Who is it? Who dares to attack my subordinates? Get the hell out here! He bellowed crazily and chopped down with the long blade in his hand. This time, countless cracks appeared in the sky, and the ground kept sinking. Everyone was so scared that they started shivering. At the same time, their hearts were beating wildly. What was going on? Could it be that an expert had secretly made a move? Had the world soul been snatched away? Who was it? Who was so daring to set themselves against the Fiend Overlord? It couldn't be a holy city, right? For a moment, many people were whispering to each other. The people of the holy cities were also extremely shocked. They were certain that it wasn't them who had done it. However, they didn't know whether it was someone else who had done it or not. For a moment, those holy cities were also discussing with each other. But soon they were dumbfounded. That was because they discovered that it really wasn't a holy city. Who was it? At this moment, everyone was curious. Who was it that was so daring? The Fiend Overlord was so angry that his whole body trembled. He was so angry that he vomited blood. Thinking back to how arrogant and high-spirited he was before, he wanted to refine the world soul in front of the Rain clan. He also wanted to announce to the world that he, the Demon Lord, had come and was going to rule the world. But now he had been ruthlessly slapped in the face. His subordinates had been quietly killed by someone, and the world soul had been snatched away. What was even more infuriating was that he didn't even know who his opponent was. As the overlord of a region, the Demon Lord had never been so humiliated before. The people from the Rain clan gnashed their teeth in anger. As expected, they had lost the world soul. Their greatest reliance was gone. Although they didn't know who had stolen it, they had placed their hatred on the Demon Palace. This was because they were all from the Fiend Palace. If the Fiend Palace did not attack them, how could they lose their world souls? Damn it! Kill them? The people of the Rain clan roared crazily. At this moment, the evil Demon Overlord was also furious. Kill them all. Kill all these Rain Technique people. I want to bathe Double Rain Star in blood. The war started again and continued for nearly half a year. In the end, the peak power of the Rain clan was completely wiped out, and the remaining 2 Saint Venerables were killed. Without a leader, the Rain clan was completely finished. Although the Demon Palace had also suffered disastrous losses, with many Saint Venerables and small saints dying, the number of Saint Venerables was still too great. There were countless saints, but the Demon Overlord's avatar was still alive. He led the remaining forces and swept through all 4 directions. The Rain clan was finished. In outer space, the people who were watching the war shook their heads and sighed. There was no suspense anymore. The people of the Wind Spirit Star also withdrew. Previously they had joined hands, but now the Rain clan was completely finished. They wouldn't continue to fight with their lives on the line. Therefore these people began to withdraw and even left with their king spirits. On the other side, the people of the Rain clan were getting more and more. Wuxia stood in the sea of blood and mountains of corpses. Her eyes were numb. She didn't expect that the clan that had been at its peak would end up like this. Wuxia quickly climbed up the altar. The remaining elders of the Rain clan roared crazily. Wuxia was pushed onto the altar. Immediately, the blood in the surroundings began to circulate crazily. Even the power of the dead Saint Venerables surged into Wuxia's body. We've already activated your bloodline. Now you're the one with the most powerful bloodline in our Rain clan. Quickly leave. As long as you're alive, the Rain clan still has hope. The people of the Rain clan forcefully sent Wuxia away. Then everyone of the Rain clan was killed. Mountains of corpses and seas of blood. Ghosts wailed and wolves howled. A world-class clan was annihilated. The shock caused by this was absolutely heaven-shaking. The second astral realm was completely boiling. Everyone was spreading the news. Everyone was discussing the battle that had just taken place. Of course, there was also that mysterious person. The demon palace had occupied the double rain planet. At the same time, the demon overlord had issued a universal arrest warrant. He was chasing after Wuxia. He was chasing after the person who had seized the world soul. No matter where the other party fled to, he would definitely tear the other party into pieces. This storm was still ongoing. Lin Xian and the others had already arrived at a remote and declining small world. They went down and completely concealed themselves. Lin Xian was currently fusing with the world soul with all his strength. This process was very slow. It took more than a year. Spring came and autumn went. Winter came and summer went. In this year, too many things had happened in the second astral realm. The demon palace had taken over the double rain planet. However, later on, other forces forcefully interfered. Those holy cities also wanted a share of the pie. They all set up camp on the double rain planet and began to divide the resources. However, they could only divide the resources on the surface. As for the world soul, this kind of thing that even Saint Kings would covet, they couldn't obtain it. Wuxia had completely disappeared. No one knew where she went. As for that mysterious powerhouse, he seemed to have never appeared. Until now, they hadn't found any clues. They didn't even know who the other party was. This made the demon palace go crazy with anger. Especially the demon overlord, he almost went crazy. On this day, Lin Xian woke up. He opened his eyes, and the corners of his mouth raised into a smile. He had already begun the initial fusion. The following fusion didn't require him to deliberately control it. As time passed, he would become more and more familiar with it. This feeling was really too wonderful. He had a mysterious connection with the world. With a thought, he could even control the heaven and earth phenomenon of that world. He was like a god, controlling the laws of heaven and earth. Alright, how's the situation outside? After Lin Xian came out, he asked. The dark red divine dragon and black mountain had been inquiring about the news. Even the northern demon had come out. He had almost recovered. In fact, his cultivation had even gone up a level. At this moment, he had already reached the second heaven. Chapter 3790. The dark red divine dragon came over and told him everything that had happened these days. After Lin Xian listened, he laughed heartily. Ah, it was really cool. The Rain clan was finally destroyed. Although a few small ants ran out, they couldn't do anything at all. The Rain clan was finally finished. The clan that had chased after him was now gone. The spirit sealing star also suffered heavy losses and retreated to recuperate. The demon palace also suffered heavy losses. Especially the demon overlord, he was so angry that he almost went mad. After hearing this news, Lin Xian was even happier. Humph, they probably never dreamed that the world soul would be taken away by him in the end. Are you saying that those people want to divide the double rain planet? Humph, how can my world be divided by them? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Black Mountain said, Kid, don't be impulsive. Although you have fused with the world soul, your cultivation is still too weak. You can't be compared with those behemoths. Lin Xian nodded. He said, I naturally know about this matter. Don't worry, I won't show up, but I will let these people know the consequences of being greedy. Lin Xian began to activate the world soul across the starry sky. At this moment, the double rain planet was really full of vicissitudes. The earth cracked and blood flowed. This was the blood of saints and even the blood of small saints and saint venerables. How terrifying was that? It was estimated that it wouldn't be erased even after thousands of years. On the double rain planet, in addition to the demon palace, the demon city, Thunder God City, and other holy cities also entered. There were even some big families and sects that wanted to interfere. They were all competing for resources, snatching the spirit veins and dragon veins. However, on this day the wind and clouds gathered. Above the sky, endless dark clouds swept over and terrifying thunder fell. That was the lightning tribulation that could destroy the world. The earth rolled and countless magma gushed out. Mudslides and storms were also unceasingly rushing. It was a scene of destruction. Damn, what's going on? These laws of heaven and earth were not the scene in the eyes of ordinary people. They all carried the power of laws. Even if these people were saints, they were still injured. Who is it? Who is playing with us? Heavens, someone is controlling this world. It can't be. Is that person going to appear again? Everyone felt their blood run cold as if they were facing a great enemy. When the Demon Palace's people received the news, they even sent holy venerables to suppress the surroundings. However, they still couldn't find anyone. This made them mad with anger. Over the next few days, terrifying images of heaven and earth would descend from time to time. In the end, everyone knew that this was the mysterious powerhouse punishing them. The other party was controlling a world and fighting against them, but they couldn't catch it at all. The people on the Double Rain planet were extremely depressed. In the end, they even restrained themselves and didn't dare to be impudent anymore. In the distant starry sky, Lin Xian coldly snorted and withdrew his palm. He was just giving these people a small punishment first. When he was stronger in the future, he would descend again. At that time, he would see who would dare to touch his world. Brat, where are we going next? The dark red dragon asked. After fighting for more than a year and comprehending for more than a year, it has been almost 2 years, almost 3 years. Senior apprentice brother Hongye said that he would definitely take me to planet Tianming in 3 years. Now that I think about it, it's about time I left. Let's head to planet Tianming. Let's go. The group set off. At the same time, various sects and great sage cities of the second astral world also started to move. Those geniuses started to move, preparing to head to planet Tianming. Because this was a world that only opened once every 500 years, there were strange opportunities inside. If they missed this opportunity, they might have to wait another 500 years. No one could afford to wait because one had to be below the Minor Saint realm to enter the heart of planet Tianming. Some geniuses would probably break through in 500 years. Then they wouldn't have the qualifications to enter in their lifetime. Celestial fate was an extremely important star to be able to find one's own fate and future path. They flew all the way, even using spatial jumps and teleportation. Finally, they arrived at planet Tianming. At this moment, planet Tianming was incomparably mysterious. It was surrounded by a chaotic aura, making it impossible to see what was inside. Because it wasn't the time to open yet, everyone could only wait. There were 4 moons near planet Tianming. Those who had just arrived at these 4 moons, waiting for the final moment. These 4 moons were also extraordinary. So I think it's better for everyone to find one and enter. When we reach planet Tianming, we will meet again. He Shan said in a deep voice. Really? How extraordinary is it? Let me take a look. The dark red dragon stared at it for a long time, but it couldn't see anything. Lin Xian was surprised. He asked, He Shan, have you been to planet Tianming before? He Shan used to be the great sage, so he should have been here before. He Shan looked at the mysterious planet in the distance and said indifferently, It's been too long and I can't remember clearly. Only a ghost would believe that. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. The dark red dragon also said, Don't be so stingy. He Shan glanced at the two of them. Some paths could be taken through shortcuts, but some paths had to be walked by oneself. Planet Tianming is your chance. Feel it well. He Shan laughed and pointed at a moon in the distance. Disciple, go to that moon. Yes, master. The northern demon was very respectful. He had already taken He Shan as his master. He said, Brother Lin Ruffian Long, I'll take my leave first. His figure flickered and he flew toward the moon in the distance. Can't you let your disciple go by himself? He just recovered and his cultivation has fallen behind a lot. He's only at the 2nd celestial stage. Aren't you afraid that he'll be killed? So what if he's at the 2nd celestial stage? My disciple is easy to bully. He Shan waved his hand, not caring at all. Lin Xian was relieved. He Shan's words meant that he was very confident. All right, let's each find a moon and go down. Each of the 4 moons had their own unique characteristics. Even their colors were different. The moon that Lin Xian entered was a cyan moon. After going down, he found that the moon was not small, and there were many experts inside. They must be geniuses from the various great sage sects. As soon as he came down, Lin Xian discovered something interesting. This was because he saw a familiar face. Lei Chong. At this moment, Lei Chong was really proud of his success. He was riding on a mighty demonic beast, and there were many followers beside him. There were disciples from the holy city, as well as geniuses from other clans. There were even countless beauties chasing after him. He was in high spirits. Young Master Lei is too strong. That's right, I can't understand that skill even after 10 years. Some of his followers began to flatter him. As for the girls, their eyes were shining. They wanted nothing more than to marry Lei Chong. Lei Chong raised his head and listened to the conversations around him. He was enjoying it very much. However, he soon frowned and his eyes were burning with anger. The reason for that was because he noticed a familiar figure in front of him. Chapter 3791. Damn brat, it's you. This is impossible. Lei Chong screamed. He almost fell off from the beast's back. Because he was too shocked, it was as if he had seen a ghost. The followers around him were all stunned. What happened to young Master Lei? Their faces were filled with shock as they turned their heads to look at Lin Xian. Their eyes were filled with doubt. Who is this guy? How could he let young Master Lei off? They were so scared. One of the followers glanced at Lin Xian's cultivation and smiled. Don't worry, young master. He's just a fourth heavenly layer. I'll take him down for you. He walked over with a cold smile. Just as he was about to say something, he was sent flying by Lin Xian's slap. Half of his body exploded into a bloody mist. So powerful? The followers were stunned. Who is this guy? Isn't he too strong? Lei Chong was still in shock. Impossible. Are you a human or a ghost? Lin Xian sneered. What's wrong? You're just a loser. You don't even recognize me? Loser. Young Master Lei was actually defeated by this guy. The followers around him were completely stunned. Impossible. Brat, you're talking nonsense. The followers screamed. How could their idol be defeated? Especially when he was defeated by a fourth heavenly layer. This was simply unimaginable. This brat must be bragging. That's right. Young Master Lei, please beat him up. Young Master Lei, you must teach him a lesson. The beauties were also screaming at the side. Lei Chong's face was extremely ugly. Looking at these followers, this was the first time he wanted to slap them to death. To be honest, he didn't want to do it now. Because the scene in front of him was too strange. Wasn't this guy killed by 10 minor saints? How could he still appear here? If he was still alive, what did it mean? How strong was he to be able to escape from 10 minor saints? Moreover, he was still alive in the end, but the 10 minor saints were dead. What happened in the middle? Thinking of this possibility, he felt his scalp was about to explode. Lin Xian smiled. You guys should stop screaming. Didn't you see his face turn green when he saw me? You don't even dare to make a move. Damn it. Damn it. I don't believe it. Those followers screamed crazily. Is this the genius they followed? Why was he so timid? Young Master Lei, please make a move. These people shouted angrily again. Lei Chong's face was gloomy. This matter would probably spread out. If he didn't do anything and these people spread the news, he would become a laughing stock. Moreover, his strength had increased greatly. He was much stronger than before. He felt that he wouldn't lose to his opponent again, although he still couldn't figure out why his opponent was able to survive. Brat, I don't know how you survived, but you still dare to appear in front of me. You're courting death. Fine, I'll send you to heaven today. Lei Chong walked down from the back of the demonic beast. He walked forward. That's great. Young Master Lei has made his move. Young Master Lei would definitely be able to kill the other party easily. If that brat is dead for sure. The followers around him were excited. They widened their eyes and wanted to watch Mr. Lei display his skills. Are you sure you want to fight me? Lin Xian sneered as he looked at his opponent. Why wouldn't I dare? Today I will prove to you my true strength. Lei Chong shouted angrily as he waved his fists. Thunderstorm filled the sky. The surrounding Tao roared as thunder fell and engulfed Lin Xian. The terrifying power seemed to be able to destroy the world. That's terrifying. Even someone of the same cultivation level wouldn't be able to withstand such power. That brat's cultivation level is so low. He will definitely die. His followers sneered again and again. That's right. After so many years, you haven't improved at all. Your thunderbolts can't even tickle me. A voice was heard from the sea of thunder. You still alive? That's impossible. Those followers were completely stunned. Even a fifth celestial layer sage would have been killed by such violent lightning. How could a fourth celestial layer sage still be alive? Lei Chong's eyes shrunk. Thunderstorm. With a roar, thunder exploded in the sky. The destructive power was even stronger than before. He should be dead now, right? The crowd sneered. A figure walked out from the endless destruction of thunder. He was glowing like a golden god of war. He was unscathed. I told you, how dare a loser like you be so arrogant in front of me? You're courting death. You're not dead yet? The followers were stunned. Lei Chong's face turned ugly as cold sweat trickled down his forehead. Since you dare to be arrogant in front of me, you have to bear the consequences of your arrogance. Lin Xian walked out, clenched his fist and threw a punch. The golden fist covered the sky and covered the earth. With a bang, Lei Chong wanted to dodge, but he was hit by the fist and his body was torn apart. Ah! He screamed miserably. His opponent could blow him up with one punch. It was too terrifying. He roared, trying to recover and escape. However, the power of the punch was not over yet. After Lin Xian broke through to level 4, his strength was much stronger than before. Therefore, the power of the punch was far beyond everyone's imagination. Sure enough, Lei Chang's body that had just recovered was shattered again under the light of the fist. Not only that, the fist carried an aura that could destroy everything, even Lei Chang's soul was torn apart. In the end, the endless golden light scattered down, tearing Lei Chang's soul into pieces. His body was also torn apart. Lei Chang was dead with one punch, unable to withstand a single blow. Lin Xian sneered and shook his head. The followers around were stunned. How could it be? Mr. Lei was dead. Killed with one punch. Heavens! They sucked in a breath of cold air, their faces were filled with fear. That was Lei Chang, the genius of Thunder God City, a level 5 sage. He could even fight those above his level. But now he was killed by a level 4 sage with one punch. This was simply unbelievable. Who was this person? They looked at Lin Xian trembling. Coincidentally, Lin Xian's gaze was also looking at them. He said calmly, "Who is not convinced?" Bang bang bang. Those followers knelt on the ground. "Hero, please spare our lives." Lin Xian looked at these people and sneered. "Oh, weren't you all arrogant before? Let me see, what qualifications do you have to be arrogant?" He took a step forward and the aura on his body exploded. Those people fainted when they felt the aura. A bunch of trash. Lin Xian shook his head. Too weak, he was not interested. He turned around and left. When those people woke up and realized that they were still alive, they were so excited that they cried. They decided that they would not be followers anymore. This world was too terrifying, there were too many hidden experts. Let's go quickly. These people dispersed in a hubbub. However, some of them used a formation to record the process of the battle and spread it out. Suddenly, the entire moon was in an uproar. Chapter 3792. Have you heard? Lei Chang was killed. Oh, Lei Chang? Are you kidding me? That's right. Which idiot spread the news? Do you know who Lei Chang is? Some people sneered, not believing it at all. He was a genius of the holy city, a 5th heavenly layer expert who could fight across realms. Who could kill him? However, when more and more news came and even the images of the battle were sent back, these people could no longer remain calm. What? Lei Chang was really killed? Tanya, who did it? He was killed by a 4th heavenly layer expert. How could this be possible? They were all stunned. If Lei Chang was killed by a minor saint, they felt that it was very possible. But he was killed by a 4th heavenly layer expert? What the hell was this? Could it be that Lei Chang fell into someone's trap? Discussions broke out one after another. At the same time, an even more terrifying news came, causing the entire moon to explode. Do you know? Someone killed Lei Chang with a single punch. Who is so powerful? I heard that it's a 4th heavenly layer expert. Don't you know? His name is Lin Wudi. He's from the Wuxia city. Is he the new chief disciple of the 3rd generation? I know him. That's not right. Didn't they say that he died on the Fiend Star? He hasn't appeared for many years. How could he still be alive? As soon as the news came out, the crowd was in an uproar, especially some of the geniuses of the holy city. They were very well informed. They knew that Lin Xian died on the Fiend Star, killed by 10 minor saints. But now he was alive again. What was going on? After the people of Thunder God City learned about it, they couldn't remain calm. What was going on? Lei Chang was dead and Lin Wudi was alive again. Damn it. 10 minor saints were dead but he was still alive. Investigate, we must find out what is going on. The people of Demon City were screaming crazily. White-eyed Beast Saint, Shui Yu and the others looked incomparably solemn. The people of Golden Crow tribe were even more shocked. For a moment, many people were frantically trying to find out what was going on. Lin Xian's resurrection and sudden appearance had caused some people to feel uneasy. They must find out. Was the other party dead or not? Who was the one playing tricks? At the moment, Lin Xian was extremely carefree. He condensed a cloud and sat on it, drinking spirit wine as he looked down. He wanted to see if there were any good spirit veins that were suitable for temporary residence. This lake is not bad. Crescent Moon Lake? Lin Xian stopped. Looking down from this direction, there was a crescent-shaped lake below, sparkling with light. There was also a mysterious light. The essence of the moon, not bad. Let's go down and feel it. Lin Xian dived into the Crescent Moon Lake. Waves rose from the lake, forming ripples that spread in all directions. However, they soon calmed down. Princess, this moon is indeed extraordinary. In the mountain range, a team was moving quickly. They were all riding powerful demonic beasts. At the very front, there was a beautiful woman wearing a long green dress that covered her face. In between their eyebrows, there was a crescent moon. They were from the New Moon clan. They were born to be related to the moon. Therefore, at this moment, these people came to the moon to look for the essence of the moon. Finally, the group stopped. The green-robed woman riding the unicorn in front of her turned her gaze to the front. The little handmaiden next to her exclaimed, "Princess, this place is not bad. The essence of the moon here is very rich." Gao Yu looked at the crescent moon lake in front of her and smiled. She nodded slightly. "Then I'll cultivate here first." "Princess, you have to cultivate. Hurry up and set up a defense line," the little handmaiden shouted. Immediately, the people at the back got down from their demonic beasts and began to set up a defense line. Some people set up formations. Some people were guarding in the distance. In short, everything within 100,000 miles was cleared. Some demonic beasts were even thrown out. "Princess, I'm not far away. If there's anything, call for me." The little handmaiden also retreated to a few thousand miles away. In front of the crescent moon lake, only the woman in the green dress was left. The girl took off the veil on her face, revealing a beautiful face. She began to take off her long dress and then jumped into the crescent moon lake. The crescent moon lake rippled as the girl played in it. Outside, she was an incomparably cold princess, but she also had the mood of a young girl. Now that there was no one around, she naturally wanted to relax. Lin Xian was in the crescent moon lake, feeling the essence of the moon, and fell into deep thought. He cultivated the Taiji art, so he was very curious about this natural yin and yang power. His divine body belonged to the power of yang. In that case, the power of the moon should belong to the power of yin. If he could combine these two powers, his Taiji art should be even more terrifying. Just as he was thinking, Lin Xian was suddenly stunned. Someone came in. Who was it? And it was near him. Damn it, he was so busy thinking about yin and yang that he didn't expect there to be someone here. There was a past in front of him. Damn, it can't be. She's at the bottom of the lake. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light. He saw everything clearly. He saw a naked woman frolicking in the water. Furthermore, she was rushing towards him. Oh my god. Lin Xian's mouth twitched. This really had nothing to do with him, but he didn't close his eyes. Gao Yu was in a very good mood. She was very satisfied. The essence of the moon here made her very comfortable. As she played, she swam towards the depths of the crescent moon lake. Suddenly she was stunned because she bumped into something in the lake. What was it? Was it a demon beast? She snorted coldly, lowered her head, and dove into the water. She wanted to kill the demon beast, but in the next moment she was stunned. Her beautiful eyes widened in shock. She realized that it wasn't a sea demon below, but a man. A very young man whose eyes were emitting a golden light, stared straight at her. Gao Yu's mind went blank. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Then she turned around, stuck her head out, and screamed, "Damn it, why was there someone in the water?" And it was a man. Why didn't she sense it? What was even more hateful was that this man was now staring straight at her, and she was not wearing anything. Didn't this mean that the other party had seen her all over, and how long had he been looking at her? Damn it. Damn it. She was stunned. She wanted to scream, but in the next moment, her mouth was covered. At the same time, she felt a figure appear behind her. One hand wrapped around her waist and the other covered her mouth. Chapter 3793. Don't make a sound, I didn't do it on purpose. Gao Yu was furious. She felt her entire body burning. A feeling that she had never felt before was rising from her body, as if she had been electrocuted. She felt that she was almost unable to use her strength. You didn't do it on purpose? Who would believe you? If you didn't do it on purpose, why did you hug me? If you didn't do it on purpose, why did you kiss me? Why did you peek from below and not come out? Gao Yu felt that her lungs were about to explode. At this moment, she had forgotten that she was an expert. Lin Xian was not feeling well either. He was a man with vigorous blood and qi. Now that he had such a beauty in his arms, and she was still trembling restlessly, it made his blood and qi churn. He said, "Don't move anymore. If you move again, don't blame me for being impolite." Hearing this, a hint of fear appeared in Gao Yu's eyes. In the next moment she finally could not hold it in anymore. An extremely terrifying power emerged from her body. With a boom, the entire crescent lake exploded. Lin Xian was also sent flying by this power. Damn it! Gao Yu shouted and instantly took out a set of clothes from her storage ring and put it on. Her entire body was surrounded by a baleful aura as she looked into the distance. Die. A crescent sword appeared in her hand and she slashed forward. Her speed was very fast. In an instant, she appeared beside Lin Xian and slashed down with the crescent sword in her hand. Lin Xian was surprised. He did not expect this woman to be so strong. She was obviously a top genius. He did not dare to be careless. He formed a seal with both hands and shot out a 5-element ring, blocking the crescent sword. At the same time he said, "Beauty, this is a misunderstanding. Listen to my explanation." Gao Yu was so angry that she gritted her teeth. Misunderstanding? Who would believe that? She kept attacking. On the long sword, laws flowed, wanting to completely kill Lin Xian. Soon, she was shocked because she found that although the young man opposite her was flustered, he was not injured at all. He had blocked all her attacks. Damn it, how is this possible? Gao Yu was stunned. She was an extremely top genius. Moreover, her cultivation had reached the mid-stage of the 5th heaven. How powerful was that? It was unbelievable that the other party could contend with her. A new beam of moonlight appeared behind her and slashed forward. The void was instantly torn apart. A huge crack appeared in the space within 1,000,000 miles. At this moment, the surrounding people were all alarmed. Not good, there is danger. The young maidservant's expression changed and she took the lead to rush over. The next moment she screamed, "Someone is attacking the princess." The martial artists in the surrounding area moved out crazily. There were even extremely terrifying auras that were fluctuating. It was the aura of a little saint. Lin Xian's expression changed. He hadn't expected this woman's identity to be so extraordinary. She actually had so many experts by her side. Moreover, there was more than one little saint. It seemed that he had to think of a way to leave quickly. He wanted to retreat, but the young girl shouted, "Where do you think you're going?" There was half moonlight all around, blocking his path. Lin Xian coldly snorted. Since he couldn't leave, he could only use another method. "My apologies." With a furious roar, he punched out in all directions, causing the new moonlight to tremble. At the same time, an extremely terrifying radiance erupted from his eyes. He used his eye technique. The young girl screamed in fright. Her soul was injured, and the crescent moon between her eyebrows also flickered, resisting the attack. However, at this moment Lin Xian attacked again. He took a step forward and came to the side of the young girl. His big palm kept slapping and the 5 elemental laws surged out. Damn it. The young girl fought back, but she found that she was no match for him at all. She wanted to retreat, but Lin Xian used the soul fixation pearl to freeze her in place. She couldn't move at all. The next moment, she felt that he had come behind her and grabbed her neck with one hand. "Don't move." Lin Xian roared, his voice resounding in all directions. At the same time, 2 figures walked out of the void near him. They were 2 old men. Their faces were incomparably cold, and their auras were unusually powerful. They had both reached the realm of Little Saint. The 2 little saints almost came to Lin Xian's side. Lin Xian also felt a lingering fear. Fortunately, he was decisive enough to attack. "Kid, how dare you? Quickly release our palace master." The 2 little saints roared crazily. Many cultivators appeared in the surroundings, densely packed and shrouded this part of the world. Lin Xian frowned. Damn it. He had really provoked a powerful existence. He said that this was a misunderstanding. He didn't want to attack their princess, but they couldn't attack him either. Misunderstanding? What misunderstanding? The 2 elders frowned and looked at Gao Yu. Gao Yu was furious, but her whole body was sealed by the other party, especially the soul fixation pearl, which made her unable to move at all. She could only use her beautiful eyes to stare at the other party fiercely. "Since it's a misunderstanding, quickly release our princess," one of the little saints said coldly. "No way." Lin Xian shook his head. "You have so many people. If I release her, what if you attack me?" "Humph. My new moon clan will not be so despicable." The old man snorted and his face sank completely. Lin Xian frowned. He had never heard of the new moon clan, but he thought that it should be a very terrifying clan. Moreover, the aura of the other party seemed to be related to the moon. He said, "I don't know you and I can't believe your words. In order to protect myself, I can only take her away first. Don't worry, I won't hurt her because I don't want to be your enemy. I just want to leave this place." Having said that, Lin Xian turned around and looked at the surroundings. "Get lost if you don't want anything to happen to her." He emitted an extremely terrifying killing intent. Damn it. The surrounding cultivators of the New Moon clan had an extremely ugly expression. Suddenly, a little saint attacked. He tore the void apart and attacked Lin Xian's head. Lin Xian felt that his glabella was about to split open. He snorted coldly, and an extremely terrifying golden light burst out from his eyes. He also used the power of stellar transposition to change the direction of the light. With a clang, the void beside him was completely torn apart, and a bottomless black hole appeared. Damn it! Lin Xian's face was completely gloomy. He emitted an extremely terrifying killing intent. Is this what you meant when you said that you won't attack me? You wanted to take my life just now. Did I fail? The little saint's expression changed. He was too shocked. He was a 6th layer expert. No matter whose 4th layer ant the other party was, he could kill him with just a flick of his finger. However, he failed. He didn't kill the other party. Instead, he made the other party want to kill him. He quickly said, "Don't be agitated. We won't attack you again. Quickly retreat and make a path. I hope you can do what you said. If you attack me again, I won't be merciful." With Gao Yu in tow, Lin Xian's figure flickered as he quickly soared into the sky. Chapter 3794. To be honest, Gao Yu was also shocked. Even their minor saint failed? Who was this person? How could he subdue her? He could even dodge the minor saint's attack. Elder, are we really going to let him take the princess away? Will there be any danger? The people of the New Moon clan were very anxious. The 2 elders' faces were gloomy. Don't worry, the princess is much stronger than we thought. She has a trump card, so there shouldn't be any danger. However, this kid is quite strange. He could actually dodge my attack. The minor saint's face was gloomy. Go and find out who he is. In front, Lin Xian escaped from the enemy's encirclement and flew all the way across the mountains and rivers. He felt that the distance was about right and was about to let go of the princess. Suddenly, a terrifying aura erupted from the girl in his arms, knocking the mind fixation pearl away. He was also pushed back. His blood and chi churned and countless clanging sounds came from his body. The girl cried out and broke free from the bindings. She turned around and slammed her palm. It was a crescent-shaped palm. It slammed towards them, shattering the void within 1,000,000 miles. Obviously, the girl was angry. She used her trump card to break free from the bindings. Lin Xian was also shocked. This girl was much more terrifying than he imagined. He was afraid that she was far stronger than Lei Chong and the others. She shouldn't be from the holy city. She actually had such strength. It seemed like the second heavenly boundary was more mysterious and exciting than he imagined. Since you've escaped, you can leave. I don't want to fight you. Lin Xian said coldly. Lecher, I'm going to kill you. Gao Yu was trembling with anger. What kind of attitude was this? He looked at her body, but now he was in the right. Kill me? Lin Xian frowned. You're not my opponent. Moreover, I didn't mean to do this. I came to the Crescent Moon Lake first. Didn't you check if there was anyone in the lake before you came? So you can't blame me for this. You can only blame yourself for being careless. Damn it, shut up. Gao Yu screamed. She was going crazy. She had never held a man's hand since she was young, let alone having her body seen. To her, this was a great humiliation. She had to kill this lecher. She opened her mouth and spat out a white jade-like ruler, which she threw forward. The white jade-like ruler emitted overflowing laws as it constantly attacked. That terrifying aura caused heaven and earth to crumble and everything to sink into oblivion. It was too terrifying. This was no ordinary ruler. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He used the Kunping technique and dodged quickly. However, he realized that his opponent's attacks were getting colder and colder. They had completely enveloped the surrounding void. Furthermore, the aura emitted by the ruler was simply too terrifying. Even he was greatly astonished. This was an extremely frightening saint tool. He snorted coldly and struck out with his palm. Boom. The battle between the two shook the heavens and the earth. Lin Xian was greatly astonished. He had to admit that this young girl's strength was really strong, exceeding his expectations. As for Gao Yu, she was even more shocked. Her weapon was called the Heaven Measuring Ruler. It was rumored that it could even pierce a hole in the sky. However, she couldn't do anything to him. What shocked her even more was that he was fighting her bare-handed. What kind of physique was that? Was it comparable to a saint artifact? Beauty enough is enough. If you attack again, don't blame me for being impolite. Don't be so arrogant. I'll take you down now. Gao Yu screamed as her palms continued to form seals. The Heaven Measuring Ruler emitted an unparalleled aura that constantly changed. It was as if the sky was pressing down. That heavy aura made experts of the 5th celestial layer tremble. Lin Xian also frowned. He had to admit that this Saint tool was truly terrifying. He roared angrily as he opened the sky with both hands. Like a god of war, he held up the heaven-measuring ruler. With a roar, he sent the heaven-measuring ruler flying. At the same time, he formed a seal with his palms and transformed it into a 5 elements mountain. Boundless rays of light shot towards Gao Yu. An extremely terrifying battle broke out. Gao Yu was filled with killing intent. Lin Xian was also furious. With a roar, he rushed over again. Since she wanted to fight, he would suppress her again. In an instant, he arrived beside Gao Yu. This time, Gao Yu did not panic. Instead, the corners of her mouth curled up into a sneer. Lin Xian felt his heart beating wildly. There was danger and he moved horizontally. The void where he was originally at suddenly broke open, and the heaven-measuring ruler rushed out again. This ruler was capable of creating clones. Lin Xian was too shocked. Damn it, he was almost fooled. If he was hit, he would probably be injured. Lin Xian was also angry. Since that was the case, he would no longer hold back. He pulled out the spear of great destruction and slashed down with all his might. Boom, boom. This time, the heaven-measuring ruler was sent flying. At the same time, Lin Xian used stellar transposition to send all the other party's attacks flying. He activated the Tai Chi art, and an extremely terrifying aura enveloped the other party. A Tai Chi diagram restrained the other party. Damn it. Gao Yu screamed as the crescent moon between her brows emitted a mysterious light. A crescent moon appeared behind her. The crescent moon rotated and cut through the void like a scimitar. Lin Xian used void escape and completely dodged. He did not attack again. Instead, he was ready to leave. Alright, little girl, you can't catch me. I don't want to fight with you anymore. Goodbye. After saying that, Lin Xian turned around and tried to leave. It was not that he couldn't defeat the other party, but the other party's identity was not ordinary. There were 2 minor saints beside her. If they attacked again at this time, it would be difficult for him to leave. You want to leave? Stay. Lecher, I won't let you off. Gao Yu chased after him. She thought Lin Xian was afraid. She activated the shadow of the crescent moon and charged over. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He used void escape and disappeared in an instant. He appeared beside Gao Yu and pinched her face. Do you really think I can't defeat you? Gao Yu let out a sharp cry as if she was struck by lightning. Lin Xian laughed heartily as his body disappeared into the void. Damn it, he dared to take advantage of her again. Gao Yu's lungs were about to explode. She couldn't wait to kill him. At this time, the void was torn apart and 2 figures walked out in an instant. Princess, are you alright? They were the 2 minor saints. When they heard Gao Yu's scream, they thought that something had happened and quickly rushed over. Gao Yu's face darkened. Her body kept heaving up and down. She tried hard to control herself. It's fine. You can't do anything to me. Find out who that kid is and tell me. I won't let him off. Gao Yu left in a huff. She had made 2 hours of confusion. They had carefully checked Gao Yu. She was not injured. Could it be that she had suffered some losses? How could they know that Gao Yu had been taken advantage of twice, and it was an unspeakable advantage? How could she not be angry? Chapter 3795. Although Gao Yu wasn't injured, the news still spread. Some of the geniuses from the New Moon clan were enraged. What was going on? Their princess was being bullied and it was in the lake. What could have happened? They didn't dare to imagine. Damn it, who was it? Find out. They were furious and quickly investigated. Someone really did find some clues. Let's go and kill that brat. The geniuses from the New Moon clan moved quickly. They didn't call the older generation experts because they felt that they could kill the brat with just the few of them. When they brought the brat's head to the princess, they thought that the princess would favor them. Lin Xian left completely. He opened up a cave in the mountain and prepared to rest while waiting for the opening of the celestial star. However, the following days were destined to not be peaceful. Soon someone came to the door and yelled, "Damn brat, get the hell out here." Someone outside roared crazily. This mountain range was a spiritual vein. There were many caves in the surrounding mountains. They were all opened up by the geniuses. Like Lin Xian, they were waiting for the opening of the celestial star. When they felt the energy fluctuation, they all poked their heads out to take a look. Who was it? Some people were unhappy that someone had opened up a cave here. They wanted to scold him. After all, this was their resting place. However, when they went out and saw the jade pendant, they were all stunned. The people from the New Moon clan were so scared that they shrank their necks and retreated. The New Moon clan was a terrifying clan. They didn't dare to offend them. Moreover, the ones who came were the geniuses of the New Moon clan. Who dared to offend the New Moon clan? Did they have a death wish? Lin Xian opened his eyes and frowned. He had just rested for 2 days and someone had already come to cause trouble. I'll give you a chance to live. Scram or I'll kill you. Lin Xian didn't come out. Instead he said coldly. The voice came from inside the cave and echoed around the cave. When the people around heard it, they were all stunned. Oh my heavens, what kind of person lives in this cave? He was so strong that he didn't put the New Moon clan in his eyes. Were they geniuses from the sacred city? But even geniuses from the sacred city wouldn't dare to be rude to New Moon. Where did this ferocious person come from? Or was he just a fool who didn't know anything? When the geniuses of the New Moon clan heard this, they were enraged. Damn brat, come out. We're from the New Moon clan. If you don't come out now, I'll definitely torture you into 1,000 pieces. Lin Xian came out of the cave. When the genius of the New Moon clan saw Lin Xian, the corner of his mouth raised into a sneer. Brat, you finally came out. Kneel down obediently and let us chop off your head as an apology to the princess. That's right, you don't know what's good for you. How dare you offend our princess? Cold shouts rang out one after another. The surrounding people had all gone crazy. Not only did this person offend the New Moon clan, but he also offended the New Moon clan's princess. Did he want to die? Someone from the New Moon clan? Lin Xian frowned. Your princess and I have already settled our grudges, yet you still dare to cause trouble. Are you tired of living? He didn't know what was good for him. One of the geniuses of the New Moon clan roared and attacked immediately. He raised his hand and a crescent moon flew out. It kept expanding and releasing endless law. It pressed forward. This was an extremely terrifying law. The moment he attacked, it displayed unparalleled power. The surrounding mountains kept collapsing. The ground was even more shattered. Run. The people nearby retreated frantically. They didn't expect the people of the New Moon clan to be so strong. Lin Xian snorted coldly. His eyes shone with a golden radiance. He raised his hand and there was a piercing radiance on it. It was as if it was a peerless sword radiance. He struck out with his palm and it met the crescent moon. With a boom, the two collided, and the crescent moon trembled non-stop. Lin Xian's palm exploded with an unparalleled radiance. He shattered the crescent moon with a single strike. At the same time he roared and reached out with his palm. He grabbed the youth in front of him and instantly enveloped him. He was so powerful. The surrounding people were stunned. The youth roared in anger. Damn it, get out of my way. He kept attacking but he realized that he couldn't break free from Lin Xian's palm. Soon he was caught by Lin Xian's palm and was completely enveloped. Damn it, let go of our man. The other two youths were completely enraged when they saw this scene. Was Lin Xian that strong? It was completely beyond their expectations. Let you go? Lin Xian sneered. I gave you a chance before but you didn't cherish it. Now you want to leave? Do you really think that you can be so unrestrained and oppress others just because you're from the New Moon clan? That won't work for me. Lin Xian sneered. He waved his hand and struck out with the five-finger mountain, completely suppressing that person. Damn it, he's injured. The other two youths roared. One of them charged towards Lin Xian while the other rushed towards the five-element mountain to save his comrade. Bus. Lin Xian waved his hand and endless sword chi flew out. It covered the sky and covered the earth like a vast ocean, completely enveloping the two youths. The two youths were blocked and couldn't save their comrade. They decided to kill this brat first. The two youths discussed and instantly attacked Lin Xian together. As long as they killed him, their comrade could be dealt with. Bus. The youth on the left had a glowing palm. A white jade-like spear appeared, flowing with terrifying killing intent. In an instant, the surrounding temperature dropped. There seemed to be an illusion of the moon that could pierce through the heavens and the earth. Lin Xian sneered. He reached out with his left hand and grabbed the white jade-like spear at lightning speed. At the same time, the youth on the right also charged over. He opened his mouth and spat out a ray of light. It was completely condensed from the essence of the moon and had been nourished in his body for hundreds of years. Now that it was out, it was comparable to a sacred weapon. Lin Xian wasn't afraid. He clenched his right hand into a fist and punched out. Boom, boom, boom. There was a violent collision. Lin Xian's left hand grabbed the spear and shook it violently. The youth was sent flying while vomiting blood. There were many cracks on the spear. At the same time, his fist also collided with the ribbon formed by the essence of the moon. It directly sent the essence flying. The youth was also sent flying. Half of his body was shattered. The two youths' faces were filled with horror as they quickly retreated. Damn it, how could he be so strong? They were completely stunned. The three of them were the experts of their families. The three of them together could suppress anything. Even if they encountered the geniuses of the sacred city, they could also suppress them. But now they were at a disadvantage in the hands of the other party. Moreover, the other party's cultivation was only at the fourth heaven. They couldn't imagine it at all. Was there someone who could fight above their level to such an extent? Chapter 3796. Damn it, use the power of your bloodline. Kill him regardless of the consequences. The two of them roared. Light bloomed between their eyebrows as the bloodline power in their bodies surged. They wanted to use a super powerful ability. Lin Xian was also angry. He took out the Great Destruction Spear and shot out 2 rays of light. The black spear pierced through their bodies, causing them to scream crazily. Their bloodline power was also cut off. Lin Xian shot out 2 more 5 elemental mountains, completely sealing the 3 of them. Boom, boom. The 3 mountains landed on the ground, suppressing the 3 youths. The 3 of them screamed crazily. Damn it, let us go if you have the guts and fight to the death. That's right, you'd better let us go. Otherwise you're dead. If our family finds out that we're missing, they'll definitely tear you to pieces. Is that so? Then let's see if the New Moon clan can tear me to pieces. Lin Xian sneered. He turned his head and looked around. I'm suppressing these 3. Who dares to save them? After I find out, I'll hunt you down to the ends of the earth. After saying that, Lin Xian turned and left, leaving behind the 3 mountains and the 3 suppressed youths. The surrounding onlookers sucked in a breath of cold air. Who is this person? How come I've never heard of someone defeating 3 5th celestial level experts with a 4th celestial level cultivation? This is really unbelievable. These people were stunned. They didn't expect that the opening of the celestial star would attract such a monster. It seemed that more and more monsters would appear. Their faces were full of shock. As for the 3 people who were being suppressed, they were roaring crazily. Quickly, come over and undo our seals. Come quickly, we're from the New Moon clan. Whoever helps us, our New Moon clan will remember the benefits you get. However, no matter what they said, no one helped them. Lin Xian had said that if anyone dared to move, he'd hunt them down to the ends of the earth. They didn't dare to provoke such a ruthless person. Therefore, the 3 geniuses of the New Moon clan shouted until their throats were hoarse, but no one responded. Instead, more and more onlookers gathered. The 3 of them couldn't wait to find a hole to hide in. It was too embarrassing. He might as well die. It was even worse than killing them. In the end, news of this matter spread out and attracted the experts of the New Moon clan. Only then was the seal lifted. The faces of the New Moon clan's experts turned ugly. Their geniuses were actually suppressed here. This was simply a slap to their faces. Damn it, who dared to go against the New Moon clan? When they found out that it was the person who had kidnapped the princess, they were even more furious. They had to catch the culprit and tear him to shreds. Otherwise, they would never be able to swallow their anger. At the same time, a few figures suddenly appeared in the vast mountains. Black energy overflowed from their bodies, exceptionally terrifying. Did you feel it? What a pure devil chi. That's right, it seemed to have been left behind by someone from the demonic path. If we find him, he might be the one we need. They whispered and then quickly disappeared. Then they reappeared at the place where Lin Xian fought with the New Moon genius. He also sensed the demonic chi and the aura of the New Moon clan. It seemed like the other party had fought with the New Moon clan before. Let's investigate. We must find that person. The few black-robed men quickly disappeared. On the moon, something big happened every day. However, there were a few things that were extremely shocking. Firstly, Lei Chong was killed. Secondly, Lin Wudi appeared. Thirdly, the princess of the New Moon clan was almost kidnapped and the 3 geniuses of the New Moon clan were forcefully suppressed. This caused everyone to be in an uproar. Another top-notch monstrous genius had appeared, and his methods were so ruthless. It was truly shocking. There were also people who sneered. The New Moon clan was so powerful that they would definitely not let this matter rest. Just wait and see. The person who provoked the New Moon clan was definitely dead. Lin Xian naturally heard the news too. However, he did not care. He had already given the New Moon clan face by not killing their geniuses. If the other party dared to act recklessly, he would have no choice but to be merciless. However, what happened next was completely unexpected. A piece of news instantly swept across the Green Moon. The princess of the New Moon clan had disappeared again. What? No way. That person was so daring to kill his way back. No one knew. The New Moon clan was frantically searching for the person. That person was probably dead. When Lin Xian received the news, he was also stunned. What was going on? This had nothing to do with him. It seemed like someone had attacked the New Moon clan. He did not know who it was, but why did he feel that his heart was beating wildly? He had a bad feeling about it. Damn it. Did he become someone's scapegoat? Sure enough, as soon as he thought about it, the void around him fluctuated and powerful figures appeared. Led by two little saints, they led hundreds of experts to surround the area. They were in a city surrounded by countless geniuses. Everyone was stunned by the sudden appearance of these people. It was the New Moon clan. They had appeared. What were they trying to do? Could it be that the culprit was nearby? These people were stunned. Look, the New Moon clan had surrounded a person. Was it that kid? They looked over and were shocked. No way. A level 4 expert could kidnap the princess of the New Moon clan? They heard that the princess was very powerful. She was even more powerful than the geniuses of the sacred city. Her cultivation base had reached the mid-stage of the 5th heavenly layer. Moreover, she could fight against a late-stage 5th heavenly layer expert with her full strength. Not many people below the minor saint realm could be her opponent. Indeed, how could such a strong person be kidnapped by a person of the 4th celestial layer? They could not believe it. Lin Xian frowned. Damn it. These people were looking for him again. How did they find him? Kid, hand over our princess. One of them shouted angrily. 3 of them had fire in their eyes. They were the 3 who were suppressed by Lin Xian. Lin Xian frowned. What, young master? I've already released him. You should know this. Despicable kid. You've already released him and now you're making a move in the dark. Tell me where our princess is. Otherwise I'll tear you into pieces. The 3 men who were suppressed roared crazily. One of the minor saints said coldly. Young man, I hope you don't make a mistake. I'll give you one last chance. Lin Xian's face darkened. I've said it before. I didn't kidnap your princess. I was forced to do so. I was just protecting myself. I don't have any enmity with the New Moon clan. Why would I kidnap your princess? This was done by someone else. You've made a mistake. Hurry up and find someone else. What a load of nonsense. This kid can't be an elder. Yes, even if it wasn't him, it must have been done by someone behind him. It must have something to do with him. The 3 men who were suppressed roared crazily. The faces of the 2 little saints also darkened. Since you won't tell us, we can only do it ourselves. Men, capture him and search his soul to find out where the princess is. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Are you happy? If you're happy, then vote. Chapter 3797. Hearing this, everyone gasped. Would he still be alive after being captured by the New Moon clan and having his soul taken away? They looked at Lin Xian and sighed. Lin Xian's face was extremely ugly. Don't go too far. His voice was cold. To be honest, he had already shown mercy to the New Moon clan. However, he did not expect these people to be so aggressive. This made him want to kill them. Go too far? Humph, kid, so what if we go too far? Who dares to interfere with the matters of the New Moon clan? Men, do it. The 3 men who were suppressed earlier sneered. They waved their hands. Suddenly, experts from the New Moon clan walked out and there was more than one of them. The 4 experts quickly moved out and surrounded Lin Xian, sealing him off from all directions. Moreover, there were 2 minor saints who were ready to attack at any time. The situation could be said to be extremely dangerous. Everyone thought that Lin Xian was dead for sure. Even a minor saint would not be able to escape from this situation, let alone a 4th heaven cultivator. Eehee, kid, aren't you good at fighting? Didn't you want to suppress us? Come on, do it now. Let's see who will suppress who. How dare you 3 ants jump in front of me? I didn't kill you last time because of your clan. Otherwise, I can suppress the 3 of you with just one hand. Lin Xian looked at the 3 of them with disdain. The 3 of them were angry. Damn it. Indeed, the 3 of them were suppressed last time. This made them the laughingstock of the crowd. At this moment, they were trembling with anger. Kid, so what if you're strong? That's right, you're going to die today. When you're dead and we're still alive, we'll know who's the stronger one. What's there to be arrogant about? Aren't you just relying on your numbers? Lin Xian sneered. That's right, you're right. We're relying on our numbers to suppress you. What can you do? Let's see who in this world dares to save you when our New Moon clan attacks. Those people laughed sinisterly. The 2 minor saints also said coldly and attacked. Buzz. As soon as they finished speaking, the laws on the 4 powerhouses' bodies burst forth and intertwined to form a cage that completely enveloped Lin Xian. The surrounding people shook their heads and sighed. Some of them even closed their eyes. They knew that Lin Xian was finished. Lin Xian's eyes were cold. He slowly pulled out a sword and pointed it at the sky. Do you still want to fight back? You don't know the difference between life and death. Do you think you can defeat us all by yourself? The people from the New Moon clan sneered. The surrounding spectators were also stunned. Was this young man so unyielding? What a resolute will. How could they have known that Lin Xian wasn't going to fight? He was going to choose the unparalleled sword. Let's see who dares. Now you still dare to play tricks? You're courting death. The person who was being suppressed sneered coldly. The two little saints' faces were cold as well. The four experts continued to attack. Lin Xian unleashed his law. The unparalleled sword emitted a sharp sword chi that swept across all directions. At this moment, everyone was shocked. What's that? The unparalleled sword? Isn't that the unparalleled city's weapon? Moreover, only a few people could possess it. It was a symbol of supreme status. How did this guy get it? What unparalleled sword? Are you trying to fool us with a broken sword? What a joke. Do you think we New Moon clan are idiots? The three who were suppressed laughed sinisterly and continued to attack. However, the two minor saints' pupils shrunk. Wait. They roared and the four experts stopped. The people of the New Moon clan were also stunned, especially the three people who had been suppressed. Their expressions changed. Elder Zhang, hurry up and do it. Don't be fooled by that kid. That's right, Elder. How did that kid get it? The unparalleled sword is only owned by the three chief disciples. That kid. Before they could finish their words, their faces changed. Could it be that Lin Xian is a chief disciple? The others also thought of this possibility. Suddenly there was an uproar as they looked over. At the same time they were even more puzzled. That shouldn't be the case. There were three chief disciples in Unparalleled City. The first two were super experts that were not weaker than minor saints. Their cultivation base was earth-shattering. However, the person in front of them was only at the fourth heavenly layer. He was definitely not the chief disciple of the first and second generation. Then, could it be that he was the chief disciple of the third generation? Was he that Lin Wudi? Wasn't he dead? Rumor had it that he was alive. Someone had seen him a few days ago and even came here. It couldn't be him, right? Everyone widened their eyes. The two minor saints of the New Moon clan frowned. They asked coldly, "Who are you?" Lin Xian's face changed and returned to his original appearance. At the same time, an extremely terrifying golden light appeared on his body. His voice was like thunder, resounding in all directions. "I'm the chief disciple of the third generation of Unparalleled City, Lin Wudi." It's really him. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. The people of the New Moon clan were stunned at this moment. The faces of the three who had been suppressed became extremely ugly. The faces of the two little saints turned gloomy as well. Damn it. How could he be the chief disciple? To be honest, the reason why they acted so recklessly was because they thought that the other party had no special identity. Then, compared to the New Moon clan, he was just an ant. No matter how strong the other party was, they could still send experts to kill him. However, it was different now. The other party was the chief disciple of the sacred city. What kind of identity was that? If they acted, it would mean that they were challenging Unparalleled City. The consequences would be very bad. Unparalleled City would definitely send experts to fight them. They did not want to fight with a sacred city. However, their princess had disappeared again. Moreover, it was very likely that it was related to this person. For a moment they were in a dilemma. Lin Xian held the unparalleled sword in his hand and looked forward. He sneered coldly. What? Not attacking? Didn't you want to use your identity to suppress me? Come on, I'll wait for you. Let's see if the identity of the New Moon clan or my identity as the chief disciple of Unparalleled City is greater. You three ants, aren't you the ones who are shouting the loudest? Hurry up and attack. He then looked at the three who had been suppressed. The three of them were so angry that they were about to vomit blood. Damn it, damn it. They were about to go crazy. Previously, they thought that they were geniuses, but they were defeated by someone with a lower cultivation base. They could not accept it. Later, they decided to use their noble identity to suppress the other party. However, they realized that it was impossible. Although they were geniuses, compared to the sacred city, they were only the core disciples of the sacred city. However, the other party was not only a genius of the sacred city, but also the chief disciple. His identity was almost the same as their princess. How could they be compared to him? Chapter 3798. The people of the New Moon clan couldn't even lift their heads. The two minor saints said coldly, "Kid, don't be too arrogant. Although you're the chief disciple, you have something to do with the disappearance of our princess. Today you have to give us an explanation. Tell us, where did you hide our princess? The three people who were suppressed raised their heads and roared angrily again. Their only hope now was their two elders. It would be best if their princess's disappearance was related to him. Then, even if he was the chief disciple, they would still have a reason to kill him. What does the disappearance of your princess have to do with me? Which eye of yours saw that it had anything to do with me? Lin Xian sneered. Are you trying to pin a crime on me? After all, you did kidnap our princess last time. What a joke. You said it was last time. Last time, there was a misunderstanding between me and your princess. You wanted to kill me immediately and I didn't want to expose my identity. So, I had no choice but to kidnap your princess. It's different this time. I have no enmity with your princess. Even if there were some conflicts, I wouldn't kidnap your princess. I'm not an idiot. Of course, I know what kind of crime it is to kidnap the princess. It will probably cause a war between the Saint Capital and the New Moon clan. Do you think I'll do that? As soon as he said that, the people around him nodded. Indeed, there was no reason for him to kidnap the princess of the New Moon clan. The people of the New Moon clan were also silent. However, they still didn't give up. Who knows if what you said is true or not? Then you can go and investigate. I'm here and can't run away. I'm here to participate in the Heavenly Fate Star. Do you think I'll leave before the Heavenly Fate Star opens? This guy is really here to participate in the Heavenly Fate Star. Yeah, he's another top monster who could survive in the hands of a minor saint. Now that he showed such strength, they wondered what kind of opportunities he would get in the Heavenly Fate Star. These people looked at Lin Xian in disgust. The two minor saints also discussed and nodded. We'll believe you for now. But if we find out that you're really related to the princess's disappearance, we'll kill you. No matter who you are, we'll kill you mercilessly. Let's go. The two minor saints led the people of the New Moon clan and turned to leave. Lin Xian said coldly. Wait. As soon as he said this, everyone was stunned. What was going on? The people of the New Moon clan also stopped. The two small saints frowned. What else do you want? Lin Xian raised his peerless sword and walked forward. I have already explained the matter of your princess to you. Shouldn't you all give me an explanation? What explanation do you want? Someone roared. Lin Xian said, You guys didn't even get to the bottom of the situation before you directly pinned the blame on me and even provoked me multiple times. You're provoking a Saint Realm expert. Tell me, what kind of explanation do I need? I can't let my sacred city be humiliated. At this point he looked up and stared at the three people he had suppressed before. The peerless sword flew out and three sword beams cut off the heads of the three men. Even their souls would be destroyed in an instant. The three of them widened their eyes. Even in death, they could not believe that the other party would dare to attack them in front of their elders. The people of the New Moon clan were stunned as well. Then they roared madly. Damn it, what are you trying to do? Countless people pulled out their swords and sabers. Killing intent erupted from their bodies instantly. Even the two small saints' eyes were emitting cold light as they stared at Lin Xian. The surrounding people were in an uproar. What's going on? Why did Lin Wuti suddenly attack? Lin Xian was not afraid at all. He stood with his hands behind his back and said loudly, Those who humiliate the sacred city will be killed without mercy. He was too domineering. Everyone swallowed their saliva. The two small saints' faces turned ugly. Let's go. They took the three corpses and quickly soared into the sky, disappearing into the sky. They left. The people of the New Moon clan actually left. This Lin Wuti is too strong. The news spread like wildfire. The whole world was in an uproar. As expected, Lin Wuti came back to life. And he even appeared to confront the New Moon clan. He killed three geniuses of the New Moon clan in front of the small saints. This matter shocked everyone, especially the Saint Qing experts who were in an uproar. Damn it, how dare he appear again? Let's go and kill him. The people of the Thunder God City were enraged. The other party killed their Lei Chong as soon as he appeared. How could they not take revenge? A group of people rushed over with murderous intent. On the other side, the people of the Demon City were the same. They also decided to go and see if the other party had really come back to life. The experts of the Golden Crow clan also moved. Did the disappearance of their small saints have anything to do with the other party? For a moment, the wind and clouds gathered. The people of the Thunder God City were the first to arrive because they were eager to take revenge. Not long after the news spread, they came and looked for Lin Xian. The surrounding people originally wanted to leave, but they did not expect that someone would come to kill them. Hence they stopped to watch again. These people are from the Thunder God City. They are also looking for Lin Wuti. Don't you know? Lin Wuti killed Lei Chong with a punch when he just arrived in this world. This was a ruthless slap to the face of the Thunder God City. Since Saint Chengdu wanted face, how could Thunder God City not take revenge? Isn't Lin Wudi too strong? Killing a level 5 genius with a level 4 cultivation base was like cutting vegetables. Such a person is really monstrous. Not necessarily. Maybe Lei Chong was too careless. In any case, who knows the details of this? Some people exclaimed. Some people sneered, thinking that Lin Xian might have some despicable means. However, after this battle they should be able to see how strong Lin Xian really is. Brat, prepare to die. An expert of the Thunder God City descended from the sky, bringing along endless lightning with him as he rushed over. A thunder hammer appeared in his hand and he swung it down. The ground and the void below quickly sank. This attack was extremely powerful. But Lin Xian did not say anything and threw out the unparalleled sword. The unparalleled sword turned into a stream of light and pierced through the void. With a poochie sound, the opponent's body was split into two. A miserable sound echoed between heaven and earth. Everyone's scalp went numb. One move. With just one move, a level 5 expert was split into two. Isn't this method too powerful? Go to hell. The other person also came. He flew from the ground and rushed in front of Lin Xian like a bolt of lightning. He stretched out his hands. Two thunder palms carried a berserk aura. Boom. Lin Xian lashed out with a kick that resembled a dragon colliding with his opponent. A sonorous sound rang out. The opponent's palms were instantly broken. Not only that, the opponent's body was also split into pieces. He fell to the ground and screamed. In the blink of an eye, two experts of the Thunder God City were heavily injured by the opponent. They were wailing on the ground. Chapter 3799. This scene was too terrifying, as if it was the end of the world. The surrounding people trembled. What kind of combat strength was this? The other party fell down as soon as he made a move. Damn it, you sneak attacked me. The experts of Thunder God City roared crazily. Lin Xian laughed after hearing this. Sneak attack you? You're the ones who came to kill me, right? You attacked me without saying anything. Now it's me who sneak attacked you? Do you think the surrounding people are idiots? The two people of Thunder God City were so angry that they couldn't speak. Shame, it was too shameful. The two of them came with great strength, but they couldn't even block two moves from the other party and were seriously injured. How were they going to face others in the future? The two of them quickly recovered from their injuries, and their faces were incomparably cold. They stared at the unparalleled sword in the other party's hand with a hint of fear. You're here to kill me, right? Then go to hell. Lin Xian didn't say any nonsense and attacked again. His speed was also fast to the extreme and he arrived in front of the two in an instant. The unparalleled sword in his hand emitted a biting cold sword chi, and a terrifying power rushed over. It was like a long golden river, illuminating the 9 heavens. There was even a dragon's roar coming from the sword light. Damn it, the two experts of Thunder God City had a drastic change in expression. They didn't expect the other party to be so decisive and attack without saying anything. In a hurry they also formed seals, and a terrifying thunder Qilin rushed up and rushed towards the golden sword light to block this attack. With a boom, the sky and earth shook, and the terrifying laws spread out in all directions. The surrounding people kept retreating. But the long sword swept out and the stars moved, pulling the thunder Qilin to the side. Then Lin Xian punched out and it was like a thunder sundae. It directly smashed open. The two of them screamed and their bodies were once again torn into pieces. Lin Xian stepped on their broken bodies and grabbed their souls. With a few slashes they were completely destroyed. He didn't even need to use his eye technique. The great dragon sword spirit could kill everything, not to mention souls. The two great experts vanished like smoke in thin air. They couldn't be more dead. The surrounding people were completely stunned. 2/5 celestial layer geniuses were killed just like that? This method was truly heaven-defying. After killing them, Lin Xian took their storage rings. Suddenly, he raised his eyebrows and glanced into the distance with a grin. With a wave of his sleeve, the law of the 5 forms covered the area and collected all the blood and corpses. In the next moment, the crack in the void was mended, and the crater on the ground also disappeared. Everything returned to normal as if the battle had never happened. The surrounding people were stunned. What did Lin Wudi mean by doing this? But they soon understood. That was because there were more figures descending from the sky. This time it was a group of powerful monstrous beasts. As soon as they landed, the entire ground started to tremble. One could well imagine how terrifying that power was. There were 3 people from the demon city and they were very strong. They were all experts at the initial stage of the 5th heavenly layer. Such people were extremely rare among geniuses. They were very terrifying. However, the surrounding onlookers had very strange expressions. That was because 2/5 celestial layer early-stage experts were easily killed by Lin Xian. It seemed that with Lin Xian's strength, it wouldn't be a problem for him to fight against a mid-stage 5th celestial layer expert. Now they finally knew why Lin Xian took the blood and corpses away. It was to confuse the people behind him. It's over. They looked at the people from the Demon City with sympathy. They estimated that the 3 experts from the Demon City would have a very tragic end. The people from the Demon City didn't know. After they came down, they had smiles on their faces. Lin Wudi, it's really you. You really didn't die. That's great. Yes, it's a pity that a genius like you died. After the 3 of them came down, they had fake smiles on their faces. Those who didn't know would think that they were very concerned about Lin Xian. After Lin Xian heard this, he sneered in his heart. They didn't have good intentions. Of course he didn't show it on his face. Thank you for your concern. I wonder what the 3 of you are here for. After hearing that Brother Lin was also going to participate in the Celestial Fate Star competition, one of the werewolves asked with a smile. Although he had transformed into a human body, he still had a wolf head. Although he was smiling, his smile was incomparably terrifying. That's right, I'm here to participate in the Celestial Fate Star competition. Lin Xian nodded. He wanted to see what these 3 people were up to. Brother Lin didn't know that although the Celestial Fate Star had great opportunities, it was also very dangerous. If one wasn't careful, they could die inside. Another demonic beast walked out. This time it was a fox. It transformed into a human form. It had a head of white hair and 3 tails that gently swept behind its back. A 3-tailed celestial fox? Many people were shocked. This was an extremely terrifying beast of heaven and earth. When it matured, it would be extremely terrifying. The last one was also extremely terrifying. It was a rhinoceros that had cultivated into a demon. Its body was extremely large, like a demon king, and it emitted a monstrous killing intent. That's why we're here this time, to kindly remind Brother Lin. Don't enter the Celestial Fate Star rashly. Otherwise you might die. Oh, is that so? However, I won't trouble the 3 of you to worry about my matters. Lin Xian said indifferently. What kind of good intentions could these people have? The 3 celestial foxes said, we're here to save you. Why don't you know what's good for you? You're not even going to listen to our kind reminder? Or do you think that you're strong enough to not be afraid of those dangers? Although the 3 of them tried to persuade him, their words were sharp and made people feel extremely uncomfortable. The people in the distance felt their scalps go numb. As expected, these 3 people didn't have good intentions. What if I insist on going? Lin Xian looked at the 3 of them. The 3-tailed celestial fox smiled. A green light appeared in his eyes as he looked at Lin Xian. We naturally won't stop you. We'll only let Brother Lin know how dangerous that place is. Why don't we practice in advance? The 3 of us will spar with Brother Lin. Use eye techniques on him? Lin Xian was still unafraid. He said, all right, let's spar then. The 3-tailed celestial fox smiled. The rhinoceros sage and the Arctic wolf sage also looked at each other, and then the corners of their mouths curled up into a smile. In their opinion, if they wanted to spar, the other party would refuse. Now that the other party agreed so easily, it should be the effect of the 3-tailed celestial fox's eye technique that confused him. This way they could legitimately make a move. When the time comes, wouldn't they torture the other party to death? They didn't know that Lin Xian wasn't affected at all. He just wanted to get rid of the 3 of them. The surrounding onlookers also had strange expressions on their faces. Who was the one hunting who? These people from the Demon City were probably going to be in big trouble, right? They looked at the 3 of them with sympathetic eyes. The rhinoceros sage and the Arctic wolf sage were fine, but the 3 celestial foxes were naturally suspicious. He looked at the surrounding onlookers and frowned slightly. Why did he have a bad feeling in his heart? Chapter 3800. These people's gazes were too strange, making him uncomfortable. However, he could not figure out what was wrong. How could 3 early-stage 5th firmament geniuses not be able to take him down? It seemed that he was being paranoid. He shook his head and stopped thinking about it. He stood at the back with his arms crossed, looking like he was watching a show. There was no need for him to make a move. Just his 2 companions were enough to easily beat the other party. They would let the other party know that there was always someone better. Sparring, right? All right, let's see who will make the first move. Lin Xian asked with a smile, as if he did not know that there was danger. Idiot. The rhinoceros saint and the Arctic wolf saint sneered. They had never seen such an idiot. That was true. The other party had been going too smoothly recently. He was probably blinded by victory. Let them teach him a lesson. Fists and legs had no eyes. If they hurt the other party, they hoped that Brother Lin would not blame them. Don't worry, I won't blame you. Hurry up and do it. Lin Xian showed an impatient expression. The Rhinoceros Saint and the Arctic Wolf Saint were even more disdainful. What a stupid guy. Since he was in such a hurry to die, they would fulfill his wish. The Arctic Wolf Saint walked out. He waved his hands, bringing about a powerful ice storm. The surroundings were frozen as if it had turned into a world of ice and snow. The surrounding onlookers trembled. How powerful. The Arctic Wolf Saint was a snow wolf from the Arctic. He was an ice-type saint. At this moment, the ice law was used, freezing the world. He was too strong. Ordinary veteran experts were probably no match for him. If it was before, they would definitely be worried about Lin Xian. But now they were not. Instead, they sympathized with the Arctic Wolf Saint. Between heaven and earth, the endless frost turned into a wolf head. Accompanied by the terrifying ice law, it charged forward. Lin Xian sneered. With a stomp of his foot, endless sword chi turned into a galaxy that swept across the sky. Boom, boom. The sword chi that filled the sky was frozen. Lin Xian's body seemed to be covered in frost. He pretended to be afraid and quickly retreated, only then was he able to escape the pursuit of Han Bing. When the Arctic Wolf Sage saw this, he smiled. Did you see that, Brother Lin? You couldn't take it the moment I attacked. With your strength, why would you want to go to Heaven's Fate planet? Beside him, the Rhinoceros Sage's eyes were filled with disdain. Behind him, the three-tailed celestial fox frowned slightly. Although he had tried very hard to tell himself that there would be no accidents, his heart was still beating wildly. This was a natural instinct that foretold danger. Impossible, that brat couldn't even defeat the Arctic Wolf Saint, and there's still the Rhinoceros Saint and me. There's no way any accidents would happen. The three-tailed heavenly fox shook his head. He felt that something was wrong with his instincts. In front of him, the Arctic Wolf Saint was attacking aggressively and killing non-stop. This caused more and more ice to form around Lin Xian. Lin Xian was almost frozen, while the onlookers' mouths twitched. Damn, this Lin Wudi's acting was too good. If they hadn't seen Lin Xian's methods before, they would definitely have been fooled. Brother Lin, did you see that? You're no match for me at all. How could you go to Heaven's Fate planet? The Arctic Wolf Sage stood in the sky and looked down at his opponent. This feeling was indescribably satisfying. Wasn't he a Saint Realm genius? Wasn't he the chief disciple? Wasn't he still trampled under his feet? He wanted to let everyone know that the chief disciple of Peerless City was nothing. He couldn't be compared to Demon City at all. Lin Xian said as he dodged the storm. As expected of the Arctic Wolf. This ice is really strong. But I believe that I can still resist. The pressure isn't enough. How about this? Let this brother rhinoceros attack together and give me more pressure. Who knows, I might be able to break through. Break through your sister. The Arctic Wolf Sage sneered. The Rhinoceros Sage also snorted. You really don't know what's good for you. You still want pressure? Fine, I'll fulfill your wish. This is your own request. Don't blame the two of us for joining forces. That's right, if there are any casualties later, it's purely an accident. This is a voluntary spar. Even if we die, it won't affect the Saint Realm behind us. Don't you think so? Lin Xian also said. The two sages were stunned when they heard this. This kid was really an idiot. It seemed that the three-tailed celestial fox's eye technique was indeed powerful. It had already made this kid arrogant to the point where he didn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. The two of them laughed. Of course, life and death were up to fate. It had nothing to do with the Saint Realm. Behind them, the three-tailed celestial fox's feeling was getting worse and worse. He felt as if his heart was about to jump out. Damn it, what was going on? Why was Lin Wudi behaving so foolishly? Was it really his eye technique that worked? He didn't know. He had a feeling that the crisis was about to happen. Very good. In front, Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. Then I won't be polite and will send the two of you on your way. Okay, Brother Lin, don't be polite. Just use whatever means you have. The two great sage people sneered. They felt that Lin Xian was now completely stupid and there was no need to worry too much. Boom. Lin Xian didn't hold back anymore. Since the other party had taken the bait, then he could start to kill. He waved his fist, and the 9 suns' divine fire streaked across the sky like a sun. The surrounding ice instantly collapsed and melted. The punch landed on the Arctic Wolf Sage's body and sent him flying. Half of the Arctic Wolf Sage's body was shattered, and he screamed in the sky. The miserable sound made one's scalp tingle. Damn it, what was going on? The rhinoceros sage was shocked, and the three-tailed celestial fox's pupils constricted. Something really happened. How did the other party's strength suddenly become so strong? He felt even more uneasy. The surrounding onlookers twitched their mouths. They had long known that this demon king couldn't be so kind. Now he finally showed his fangs. Oh, the pitiful people of the demon city were really unlucky. If these three sages knew that they would be pitted, what would they think? Oh, I'm sorry, did I use too much strength? Lin Xian retracted his fist and asked with a smile. In the sky, the Arctic wolf sage's expression was extremely ugly. He was so angry that his entire body was trembling. What was with that punch? How could it defeat him? His ice laws were actually melted. The injuries on his body quickly healed. The Arctic wolf sage's eyes shone with a cold light. It was nothing, just a small injury. It seemed that Brother Lin had been hiding his strength previously. In that case, let's not be polite. The Arctic wolf sage roared and swooped down. The ice aura on his body became more and more terrifying. He was like a divine king of ice descending from the sky. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palm, and endless flames danced, turning into a golden crow that shone between heaven and earth. The golden crow flew out and collided with the Arctic wolf. The power of ice and fire erupted between heaven and earth. Damn it! The werewolf let out a miserable howl. Chapter 38:01. This flame was too terrifying. It even melted the ice armor on his body. Not only that, he felt that he had suffered extremely serious injuries. Kill him. He finally couldn't care about anything else and roared crazily. Beside him, Saint Rhinoceros also roared angrily and struck out with his palm. His power was so great that with a single stretch of his palm, the void within a radius of 10 million miles instantly collapsed. Lin Xian also threw out a punch. The two fists collided in the sky with a cracking sound. Oh no! The moment they exchanged blows, Saint Rhinoceros's expression changed instantly. He realized that the other party was not what he had imagined at all. The other party's fist technique seemed ordinary, but under the fist, there was an extremely violent power. It was as if a Tyrannosaurus was going to tear his body apart. At this moment, he who was known for his strength, did not dare to take it head-on. However, it was too late to turn back now. Lin Xian's fist was like a long dragon, directly shattering the other party's palm. Not only that, the other party's huge arm was also torn to pieces. A miserable cry sounded, and Saint Rhinoceros was also sent flying. Damn it, how did this happen? The Arctic wolf saint was completely stunned. He sent the golden crow flying and his body was charred black. He looked at the scene in disbelief. Saint Rhinoceros was so powerful that no one could compete with him in terms of strength. Even he only dared to attack from afar and use the law of ice to block the other party. But now the other party had surpassed Saint Rhinoceros in terms of body and strength. Damn it, this kid has been hiding and deceiving us. The other party is plotting. When the three-tailed celestial fox saw this scene, he was also completely stunned. Damn it, have we been deceived? They wanted to set up a trap to kill the other party, but they realized that the other party was setting them up. Now he finally knew why the surrounding people had strange expressions. Why did he feel so uneasy? It turned out that the other party was not an idiot, but a hidden demon king. At this moment he bared his fangs and wanted to slaughter them. The strange gazes of the surrounding people were sympathy for them. Thinking of this possibility, the three-tailed celestial fox felt that the sky was about to collapse. Why would the three of us top geniuses need sympathy? Damn it, kill him quickly. Up ahead, the North Pole wolf saint roared angrily. The rhinoceros saint had also recovered his body. The two of them quickly charged over. This time they did not hold back. They were originally here to kill the other party. It was just that they were looking for a legitimate reason to do so. Now they were definitely going to kill whoever stood in their way. Kill. The rhinoceros sage roared madly as he swung his fists. This was a peerless fist technique. His bloodline combined with this divine ability. At this moment, each of his punches was like a heavenly hammer, smashing down from the sky. It was likely that none of the saints of the same level would be able to compete with him in terms of strength. On the other side, the Arctic wolf saint also charged over with an ice scepter. The ice of the 9 heavens and 10 earths was completely mobilized. It could freeze everything in the world. Lin Xian sneered and used the immobilization art to immobilize the Arctic wolf saint. At the same time, he turned around and attacked the rhinoceros saint. 1 punch, 2 punches, 3 punches. Lin Xian threw out 18 punches in one go, shattering the rhinoceros saint's body into pieces. The rhinoceros saint screamed in horror and turned around to escape. Too strong. In terms of physique, he was completely no match for the other party. He felt that the other party's strength was enough to destroy him. If you want to leave, stay. Lin Xian snorted coldly. His fist carried a bright light as it directly smashed the other party's body into pieces. His soul was also smashed into smithereens. A heavenly saint of a generation had fallen. Lin Xian turned around and stared at the Arctic Wolf Saint. The Arctic Wolf Saint was scared out of his wits. The Rhinoceros Saint was dead. Impossible. He roared crazily. The ice scepter burst out with a piercing cold light and hit the composed pearl. He broke free from the bindings and wanted to escape. Buzz. Lin Xian pulled out the unparalleled sword and slashed out. The sword illuminated the 9 heavens, and the surrounding ice kept shattering. Could not block at all. No. The Arctic Wolf Saint screamed crazily. He realized that the other party's sword chi seemed to be more powerful than his fist technique. Ice divine light. He roared madly as he waved the ice scepter in his hand. At this moment he did not hold back at all. He formed a huge ice shield in front of him like a canopy. Poof. He had underestimated Lin Xian's sword technique. Lin Xian's sword chi was really too powerful. It tore through everything. The ice shield of the canopy one was shattered, and a large crack appeared. Not only that, the Arctic Wolf Saint's body was also broken into 2 halves. Boom. Even the ice scepter in his hand exploded with a bang. Dead again. Another top-notch expert had died. Everyone gasped. They had already guessed the result. But now that they saw it with their own eyes, they were still extremely terrified. How was that possible? The 3 heavenly foxes were dumbfounded when they saw that scene. His 2 companions were extremely powerful, and the 2 of them were even more terrifying when they joined forces. However, at that moment he was actually killed so ruthlessly by someone. Furthermore, he was killed so easily. This was simply unbelievable. When he saw Lin Xian walking towards him, his body trembled. He screamed. You actually killed the 2 of them. Do you know what you've done? They're from the Thousand Monster City? Lin Xian said with a smile. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't I say before that punches and kicks have no eyes? Moreover, when they fought before, they also agreed that their lives and deaths were up to fate, and it had nothing to do with the holy city behind them. It's the same when I die, and it should be the same when they die. Don't you think so? The 3-tailed heavenly fox swallowed his saliva. Although the other party was smiling, he felt that it was the smile of a demon. He wanted to escape now. But in the next moment, he screamed because he saw a trace of golden light in the other party's eyes. And his soul trembled, almost breaking through. Damn it, a soul attack. And it was a very powerful eye technique attack. He finally understood that his previous eye technique did not have any effect at all because the other party was an eye technique expert. It was very likely that the other party was even more powerful than him. From the beginning they were completely fooled. What are you trying to do? The 3 heavenly foxes felt their hair stand on end, and the 3 tails behind them trembled uneasily. Lin Xian said with a smile. Didn't you come to spar with me? Let's continue. What are you going to compete on? The law of magic or the soul of an eye technique? No, you can't attack me. The 3-tailed heavenly fox hurriedly shook his head. What a joke, he did not dare to do so. Why not attack? Lin Xian said with a smile. Didn't you come to persuade me? My thoughts have not changed and you haven't succeeded yet. You should continue to persuade me. We're not here to persuade you. The 3-tailed heavenly fox hurriedly shook his head. Lin Xian's face sank. You're not here to persuade me? You still want to attack me? You're using all your killing moves? 2 against 1? Are you trying to kill me? At this point, his voice was incomparably cold. How dare you? You dare to kill me. Chapter 3802. No. We don't want to kill you. The 3-tailed celestial fox was completely terrified. The opponent's aura was too strong. He felt like he was facing a minor saint. Is that so? But now I'm still suspicious of your intentions. Now there are 2 options. 1. Obediently fight with me and do your best to persuade me. 2. Represent Demon City and apologize to me and compensate me. You can choose one. The 3-tailed celestial fox was about to cry. Represent Demon City and apologize to the opponent? What a joke. Isn't this slapping the Demon City's face? If he did this, Demon City wouldn't let him off. However, if he didn't do this, the opponent would probably kill him now. After all, the opponent had already killed 2 people. They wouldn't mind killing 1 more. After thinking for a long time, the three-tailed celestial fox could only lower his head and admit his mistake. This caused an uproar. The opponent was too strong. The demon city couldn't even raise its head. Not only did he have to admit his mistake, but he also had to compensate. Compensate me with half a world's resources. Hearing this, the three-tailed celestial fox almost knelt on the ground. The surrounding people also felt their scalps tingle. Lin Xian said coldly, "All right, you can get lost now." He waved his sleeve and sent the opponent flying. Lin Xian naturally knew that he was asking for too much. He also knew that the opponent wouldn't give him anything. He didn't care about that. What he wanted was to slap the demon city's face. Previously, wasn't the sacred city of 10,000 beasts high and mighty? Furthermore, 2 of the 10 little beasts were from the sacred city of 10,000 beasts. The opponent wanted to kill him. This time he had to slap the opponent's face. Sure enough, the news spread out quickly. The world was in an uproar. 2 experts from Great Sage City died in the hands of the opponent. Only a three-tailed celestial fox escaped. Moreover, he admitted his mistake and promised to compensate them. Only then did they let him go. The people of Thunder God City were so angry that their lungs were about to explode. They had already lost 3 experts. The people of Demon City were also so angry that they vomited blood. They immediately found the three-tailed celestial fox. They couldn't wait to kill him. The three-tailed celestial fox naturally received a harsh punishment. However, the Demon City wasn't satisfied. They swore that they would tear that kid into pieces. The other experts and geniuses were even more shocked. Wasn't Lin Wuti a little too strong? What did he want to do? Why did he kill so many experts from the sacred city? Of course, there were also some people who were excited. They were Lin Xian's followers. Lin Xian's fighting style, talent, and battle prowess naturally won the admiration of countless people. Many of them regarded Lin Xian as their idol. Previously, it was rumored that Lin Xian had died in the evil demon city, causing countless people to sigh. Now that Lin Xian had returned, and it was a strong return, it naturally made these people excited. Great, as expected of Lin Wuti. Whoever dared to underestimate Lin Wuti would end up dead. Lin Wuti swept across the world. Even among the Holy City's geniuses, he was absolutely at the top. Lin Xian's actions attracted the attention of countless people. Among them, a few mysterious people also noticed. This person is very strong. What about him? No, he's a genius of the sacred city, the chief disciple, and he doesn't meet our requirements. Or should we find the person who had the demonic aura? But previously, the people of the New Moon clan found him and said that he was holding the princess hostage. Could he be the person we're looking for? No way, this is very important. We have to get to the bottom of this. If it's really him, we have to take action regardless of whether he's the chief disciple or not. No one can stop our plan. These people started to investigate. On the other side, in an endless palace in a mansion, a young man stood with his hands behind his back. There was also a crescent moon in between his eyebrows. At this moment, his back was facing the crowd. In the main hall, there were a few figures kneeling. One of them said, "That guy actually succeeded in escaping. What should we do?" In front, the man with his back facing the figure said indifferently, "Don't worry, continue the operation and send people to kill him. We can't let the woman come back alive." Of course, now that the family was suspecting Lin Wuti, they had to think of a way to slander him. Let the family be completely suspicious of him. This way we can let him be the scapegoat. Because this moon world was close to the celestial fate star, it was also tainted with a mysterious aura. Furthermore, over the past tens of thousands of years, more than one genius had come to this place and stayed for a period of time. Therefore, there were many historical relics in this world. Some of them were left behind by ancient experts and contained a mysterious aura. Lin Xian was now touring the mountains and rivers, looking at the relics left behind by the ancient experts. He had once discovered a footprint in a large mountain. The power contained within the footprint was too terrifying. It had not been extinguished even after 30,000 years, which had caused him to be moved. Then he saw another crack on a mountain peak. That was a sword mark. Clearly, it was left behind by a swordsman 50,000 years ago. He wondered what happened to those experts back then. Did they all enter the cycle of reincarnation? Lin Xian sighed. This path was too difficult. No matter how talented you were, there were very few who could become emperors in the end. Suddenly Lin Xian's eyebrows twitched. There was a fight. His gaze pierced through the world and looked into the distance. Soon he was stunned. How could it be her? Lin Xian was too surprised. Because he found that a woman was being hunted down. He knew that person and even had a relationship with him. The princess of the New Moon clan. She had indeed gone missing and was being hunted down. Who was it that dared to chase the princess of the New Moon clan? Lin Xian frowned. He had been suspected by the New Moon clan before. Now he felt that he could save the princess. This way he would be cleared of suspicion. Thinking of this, he prepared to move. However, he was soon stunned. The reason for that was because he discovered that his opponent was also fleeing in his direction. What was going on? Was it a coincidence or was it arranged by someone? Lin Xian did not think too much because Gao Yu was very fast. She arrived nearby in an instant. It's you? Gao Yu also saw Lin Xian and revealed a look of shock. Just as she was surprised, she was shot in the back by an arrow that directly broke through her defense. Her blood flowed out and the bright red blood dyed her delicate body red. Gao Yu almost fell from the sky. What a terrifying assassin. Lin Xian was shocked. He knew Gao Yu's strength. He had fought with her before and could not take her down. But now these assassins could actually hurt Gao Yu. It was really shocking. Where did these assassins come from? It's really fate. Since I've met them, I have to do something. Lin Xian waved his hand and a terrifying sword chi rushed over, forcing the assassins around Gao Yu to retreat. At the same time, he roared and rushed forward. Gao Yu's nerves were very strange. To be honest, she did not have a good impression of Lin Xian because he took advantage of her twice. But now he saved her, so she could not help but be grateful. This feeling put her in a very difficult position. Soon she put away this thought. She knew that now was not the time to think too much. She had to quickly defeat these people. Otherwise it would be dangerous. 6th update, please recommend. Monthly votes, subscriptions, favorites, rewards. Please support. Chapter 3803. Kill. She stopped bleeding and the laws on her body burst out. A crescent moon appeared behind her, spinning. A terrifying aura slashed towards the back like a heavenly blade. One person was sent flying, and that person was instantly split in half. However, the blood mist instantly disappeared into the world. Lin Xian also made a move. He was abnormally powerful, blowing up 2 assassins with a punch. The 2 assassins were seriously injured, but they did not die. Their blood also disappeared. Then 2 people came from behind Lin Xian, and another person came from under his feet. The 3 of them formed an absolute killing stance. A terrifying killing power enveloped him, causing his entire body to turn cold. Damn it, the killing intent of these assassins is so familiar. Lin Xian frowned. When he was in the true spirit world, he was hunted down. At that time, there was a group of assassins who were very terrifying. For example, Hell, Heaven, and the Mortal World. They were all assassin organizations with tens of thousands of years of history. It was even rumored that those assassin organizations had produced earth-shattering figures who could even kill saints. Now that he saw these mysterious assassins, Lin Xian had a very familiar feeling. One of the assassins held a fan and gently swept it. It swept down a piece of law, forming the killing god domain, causing Lin Xian and Gao Yu's bodies to tremble. Break out. The 2 of them roared in anger. This domain was simply too terrifying. Even Lin Xian's physique was continuously impacted by it. Gao Yu even used her bloodline to resist. To be honest, Gao Yu was already very weak. After all, she had been hunted for many days. If not for her powerful strength and terrifying bloodline, she would have been killed long ago. Although she was fine now, the situation was very bad. Lin Xian roared and pulled out the Great Destruction Spear. Like a stick, he smashed it. With one strike, he sent the killing laws flying. Then he rushed out with Gao Yu. Buzz buzz buzz. At this moment, another woman appeared in the sky. She was wearing a veil and was abnormally hazy and strange. A guqin appeared in her hand and she gently played it. Sound waves swept through the world. Countless large cracks appeared in the void, wanting to swallow the 2 of them. Quickly disperse. Lin Xian shouted in a low voice. He and Gao Yu rushed out in a left and right direction. A terrifying spatial crack appeared between them. It was bottomless. On Lin Xian's side, he was attacked by countless sound waves. He used the Kunping movement technique and dodged quickly. At the same time, a golden blade of light shot out from his eyes, shattering all of the sonic attacks. Buzz buzz buzz. The mysterious woman charged with the magic zither in hand. There were 4 assassins around her. On the other side, the man with the fan in his hand charged toward Gao Yu. He was also accompanied by 3 killer saints. This was simply a fatal blow. Lin Xian's face was gloomy and cold. He didn't expect that saving someone would put him in such a dangerous situation. He coldly snorted. Since this was the case, he wouldn't hold back. The Great Destruction Spear danced, and streams of black devil chi swept across the 9 heavens, transforming into black dragons that danced non-stop. As for the mysterious woman, she was playing the zither non-stop. Sound waves pierced through metal and cracked stone. They clashed with the black dragons in the sky like peerless swords of the gods. The two clashed in the sky. The entire place was reduced to chaos, and the terrifying power tore everything apart. The 4 assassins attacked from the side. 2 attacks hit Lin Xian, knocking him back. Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian's body was extremely tough. The 2 attacks didn't manage to pierce through his body. Instead, Lin Xian kicked one of the assassins to death. The other assassin was also affected by the impact of that power and was sent flying. The battle was very intense. On the other side, Gao Yu was in the same situation. Woman, why are you still acting all high and mighty at a time like this? Hurry up and ask for help. Lin Xian urged her. On the other side, Gao Yu's face was cold with anger. I've already tried. They've already set up a formation to prevent me from calling for help. She was about to go mad with anger. She didn't need anyone to teach her such things. Lin Xian's expression turned cold. Is there a formation? Golden light burst out from his eyes, and he found that there was a very thin layer of clouds floating around the world. Sure enough, it was a formation and it actually enveloped him as well. Was this part of their plan? Lin Xian snorted coldly. His spear was like a dragon, and the great dragon sword soul was activated. This attack directly tore a hole in the spirit formation. Gao Yu seized the opportunity and stimulated the power of her bloodline. A crescent moon was spinning between heaven and earth, emitting a terrifying aura. At this moment, more than half of the world could see it. Princess, the people of the New Moon clan were even more so. Go quickly. These people quickly attacked. The 2 little devourers moved at extreme speed. In an instant they arrived nearby. The world was shattered. The assassins in the sky also stopped attacking. Led by the mysterious woman and the man with the folding fan, they quickly retreated. If you want to leave, stay. The 2 little saints were furious and launched terrifying attacks. A big palm enveloped these people. The mysterious woman played the magic zither and pierced through the void. The other mysterious man disappeared between heaven and earth. The rest of the assassins were sent flying while vomiting blood. However, most of them escaped. Only 2 of them were seriously injured and fell from the sky. Damn it. Chase. The other little saint quickly chased after them, but soon he came back with a gloomy face. He disappeared. The opponent's movement technique was too strange. He couldn't keep up with it. Who the hell is this person? Fortunately, there were still 2 people left. They had to torture and interrogate them. The troops of the New Moon clan also rushed over and completely surrounded the area. Princess, are you alright? They rushed over with worried looks on their faces. However, at this moment someone screamed, Damn kid, it's you. It's really you? You're the one who kidnapped our princess. They pointed at Lin Xian and screamed. The 2 little saints turned their heads. Their eyes were also bursting with killing intent. Young Master Lin, we've said before that if this matter has nothing to do with you, we won't do anything to you. Even if you're the chief disciple, we won't let you go. At this moment, the 2 little saints seemed to have turned into killing gods. Their terrifying killing intent soared into the sky. Lin Xian's face was cold. At this moment, Gao Yu said, Stop. Young Master Lin saved me just now. If it weren't for him, I'm afraid I would have been killed by now. Maybe he's just putting on a show. There were also some elders who looked unfriendly. Gao Yu shook her head. It can't be him. If he wanted to kill me, he would have done it the first time he kidnapped me. At that time, no one knew his identity. Why did he let me go at that time? Why did he do that? Besides, after he let me go, I had already returned to a secret place that only the people of my clan know. I suspect that there's a mole. What? Hearing this, everyone's expression changed. There's a mole. This was something they couldn't tolerate. Chapter 3804. Is there someone in the family who wants to get rid of the princess? Who the hell is it? Gao Yu did not say anything. She took some pills from the elder and swallowed them. Then she walked forward. Thank you for your help this time. I owe you a favor. However, I will not forgive you for what happened before. So, I will still take action the next time we meet. Up to you. Lin Xian shrugged. What a stubborn woman. The 2 minor saints walked over. We were too anxious and misunderstood you. We hope you won't blame us. Although the 2 of them were minor saints, they still apologized to Jiang Chen. Lin Xian waved his hand. Forget it. I know you guys are anxious, so I won't be calculative with you guys. However, I have made myself clear this time. If the New Moon clan dares to attack me again in the future, I will kill you guys. After saying that, Lin Xian looked at the two figures on the ground. Who are these people? The experts of the New Moon clan also turned their heads to look at them. But at the next moment their faces changed. Not good. Damn it. Someone stepped forward, releasing a terrifying life chi. Some even wanted to take the ammunition. But soon they all stopped. Lin Xian frowned. He could feel that the two soul chi had disappeared. Their life chi was also quickly draining away. Elder, they have consumed poison. They have lost their life chi. They can't be saved. A warrior of the New Moon clan stood up. His face was extremely ugly. The two elders' faces were also gloomy and cold. Even Gao Yu frowned. This group of people is terrifying. They are definitely a top assassin organization. Go and investigate the top assassin organization in the second astral boundary. Find out who has accepted the mission related to the New Moon clan. We must find out. Yes, my men. Go and do it. Lin Xian also left. He was puzzled. Which assassin organization is this? He did not know much about it. But with the New Moon clan's influence in the second astral boundary, they should be able to find out. He did not care about this. He went on his way again, looking for the ancient sage's relics to comprehend the laws of heaven and earth. At the same time, the four moons were bustling with activity. Countless experts were rushing in. Everyone was discussing which side's genius would rise above the rest. Among them, there were some people who were very dazzling, and there were even some legends that made people excited. Have you heard? Li Xinguang's daughter is coming too. No way. Are you talking about Li Hongxiu? She was a peerless beauty. Lower your voice. I don't want to make peace with him anymore. Who do you think he is? Can you talk behind my back? Hearing that 3 experts had died in the Thunder God City, they were incomparably furious. This time they had sent a group of top geniuses. Even the legendary Thunder God Qing, a top genius of the Tao of Lightning, had come. It couldn't be, right? Once he made his move, who could be his opponent? He reckoned that Lin Wudi wouldn't be able to defeat him either. That was for sure. Lin Wudi was strong, but compared to the Lightning Tao prodigy he was too weak. Have you heard? The princess of the New Moon clan was indeed being hunted down. However, she was saved in the end. This time, if she were to recover from her injuries, she would definitely be a very terrifying girl. Rumor had it that the ghost girl from the underworld ghost land had also come. The names of the geniuses were spread among the crowd. Obviously, these were all extremely dazzling existences. Of course, there were also some legends of the holy city that were spreading. Have you heard? The Kongtong Taoist seemed to have reached his limit. He would probably be frozen by the divine source and completely become a foundation. No way, I heard that he didn't seem to want to become a foundation. He wanted to use his last moments to cultivate a successor. If that was the case, there would probably be a very terrifying expert born. No one knew who would be able to obtain the Kongtong Taoist's inheritance. There was no need to think, it must be someone from the Kong sect. Everyone was incomparably envious. After a period of time, Lin Xian returned from the mountains and rivers outside and entered the city. He wanted to have a good rest and prepare to enter the celestial fate planet. There was a very tall building in the giant city. It had more than 9,000 floors and was called the Skyward Building. It was the place where countless saints gathered. Lin Xian entered the Skyward Building. Not long after he entered, he attracted the attention of others. Look, it's Lin Wudi. Is he Lin Wudi? He's so young. Everyone exclaimed in disgust. Lin Xian's expression was calm. He found a place to sit down and listen to the discussion around him. When he heard Li Hongxiu's name, he narrowed his eyes. This girl's identity was indeed not ordinary. No wonder she was so powerful. It seemed that when she competed with him previously, she did not use her full strength. I wonder how powerful the bloodline of a Saint King's child is? The surrounding people were also discussing. This Lin Wudi looked very young and had unlimited potential. His future achievements were limitless. Yes, I wonder what kind of destiny he will obtain on the celestial fate planet. What Lin Wudi? He's nothing. At this moment, someone snorted coldly. Everyone turned their heads to look. Who dared to provoke Lin Wudi at this time? Lin Xian also glanced at them, then shook his head slightly and stopped paying attention. These small ants were not worthy of his attention. However, some of his followers could not hold it in anymore. It turned out that they were from the God of Thunder. What qualifications do you have to say such big words? That's right, your genius was easily defeated by Lin Wudi before. Hurry up and go home. Otherwise, when Lin Wudi makes his move, all of you will die. You're courting death. The people from the God of Thunder's side roared and suddenly stood up. The lightning on their body was incomparable, scaring everyone. Some people were dissatisfied. What are you pretending for? What kind of ability is it to attack us? Attack Lin Wudi? That's right, I guess you don't even have the courage to face Lin Wudi. These people from the God of Thunder's city were about to vomit blood. They were the geniuses of the God of Thunder's city. They were usually high and mighty. When had they ever been looked down upon by others? However, what the other party said was also the truth. They could not refute it. What Lin Wudi? Don't be arrogant. We admit that you defeated Lei Chong. However, Lei Chong is only a core disciple of our God of Thunder's city. This time we have many core geniuses who are stronger than Lei Chong. Moreover, we have a chief disciple, a lightning genius. Once our lightning Dao prodigy is born, some people will have to die. When these words came out, everyone was shocked. Is Thunder God City really going to send a large number of experts? Moreover, there's even a chief disciple. This is too incredible. Some people frowned. Lightning genius, could it be that person in the legends? Legend has it that 200 years ago, Thunder God City took in a person who was born along with the heavenly lightning. It was very terrifying. You're talking about Lei Zhen. He has the legendary lightning spirit body. It's incomparably terrifying. Could it be that he's really going to appear now? Chapter 3805. Everyone exclaimed. Obviously they had heard of Lei Xinqing, this hidden genius. After Lin Xian heard this, he also narrowed his eyes. Thunder spirit body born with heavenly thunder, it was really strange. Needless to say, it must be a super strong physique. But so what? Lin Xian's eyes burst out with a cold light. He also had a super strong physique. And in these years he had seen so many super strong physiques, but in the end there were only a few who could grow all the way. Being born with good conditions was very important, but hard work and opportunities were even more important. He believed that he could destroy everything. Therefore Lin Xian turned his head and stared at the people of Thunder God City. Is there a thunder genius coming out of you? Very good, this is a bit interesting. Otherwise, you bunch of trash really can't arouse my interest. After saying that, he turned his head again and drank alone. The people of Thunder God City went crazy. The other party actually called them trash. It was simply unbearable. Someone raised his sword and wanted to fight with his life. However, he was stopped by someone. Junior brother, why lower yourself to his level? That is, our lightning spirit body will appear very soon. At that time, it will be the time of his death. These people sat down again and sneered again and again. The surrounding people were shocked. As expected of Lin Wudi, he was too strong. He didn't put Thunder God City in his eyes at all. There were more and more people in the vicinity. At this time, someone said that after saying so much, it seemed that Demon City didn't have any top genius. Although the White-Eyed Beast Saint was also powerful, compared to these top people, it didn't seem to be enough. Indeed. Everyone nodded. The White-Eyed Beast Saint had hundreds of eye techniques. It could be said that it was abnormally terrifying. Its strength was even stronger than Lei Chong. However, now the people who appeared were even more terrifying. For example, the Thunder Spirit Body, the Saint King's daughter, the New Moon Clan's princess. Their innate bloodline was too strong. Even if the White-Eyed Beast Saint had hundreds of eye techniques, it was still not worth mentioning. You bunch of trash, what do you know? How dare you look down on my demon city? At this time, a figure walked out from a private room in the distance. It was a two-headed lion, very mighty and extraordinary. As soon as he appeared, he used the lion roar technique. It made everyone almost split open. Damn it, you dare to attack us. Those people were furious. The two-headed lion sneered. You bunch of ignorant fools dare to talk about my demon city behind my back? You're really courting death. What? Am I wrong? At this moment, a man whose body was flickering with light walked out. He waved a folding fan in his hand, looking like a young master of a large family. The jade pendant on his body emitted a terrifying light, enveloping him and blocking the sound wave attack. Then he said, "Could it be that the chief disciple of your demon city is here? Or is there some terrifying genius that has appeared? Tell us. Otherwise we'll really think that your myriad demon city has declined." Young master, don't you think so? He sat down across from Lin Xian. Who was this person? He actually dared to face Lin Wudi. Zhang Xian had no idea, but judging from his imposing manner, he must have a powerful background. Right now there were too many experts from the Four Moons. Perhaps this person was a genius from one of the top powers. Lin Xian also glanced at him with a puzzled expression. He did not know the other party, but from the looks of it, the other party probably wanted to befriend him, so he nodded slightly. Are you provoking the demon city? The two-headed lion was furious, and a few more figures walked out of the private room. They were all powerful demon sages. The auras on their bodies were abnormally terrifying. The young man with the folding fan did not care at all. He sighed and said, "Every dog has its day. Perhaps some holy cities are really going to decline." Nonsense. I originally wanted our chief disciple to come in secret and give you a shock at the critical moment. Now I'll reveal it to you in advance. Listen up, you foolish humans. Who said that the demon city is going to decline? This time we have a new chief disciple. He's the nine-headed Qilin. Just wait to tremble. The people from the demon city sneered. They looked at Lin Xian with piercing killing intent in their eyes. The other party had also killed many of their experts. They wanted nothing more than to kill him. What was a nine-headed Qilin? Many people were puzzled. However, some elders exclaimed and stood up abruptly. Their bodies were trembling. Could it be that he was the descendant of a Qilin and a nine-headed sky snake? Grandpa, is he very powerful? A young man asked. The old man's body trembled. He's not just powerful, he's terrifying to the extreme. The Qilin race is an emperor race among the 10,000 Archean races. I don't think I need to tell you how powerful their bloodline is. Everyone nodded. Indeed. The old man continued. Although the nine-headed sky snake had never produced a great emperor, it was still a very terrifying race. In ancient times, it was one of the most ferocious beasts in the world. Its power was even stronger than some of the ancient royal races. What was even more terrifying was that he had 9 heads, so he had 9 lives. The nine-headed Qilin was born of 2 things. He had the bloodline of the Qilin race and the 9 lives of the nine-headed sky snake. Such a person would be extremely heaven-defying. So powerful. The surrounding people were completely stunned. A super-powerful bloodline and 9 lives. He was practically immortal. They looked at the demon city in horror. Previously, they had mocked the demon city for its decline. Who would have thought that the demon city had prepared such a secret weapon? If the other party hadn't mentioned it today, they really wouldn't have known. The people of the demon city sneered. At least you're knowledgeable. How about it? Do you know how powerful our genius is? When the time came, all the geniuses and monsters would die. Everyone was too shocked. Some of the followers' eyes were also filled with deep worry. Although Lin Wudi was powerful, his opponent was even stronger. First, there was Lei Zhen with the Thunder Spirit physique. Now there was the heaven-defying 9-headed Qilin. Could Lin Wudi really resist them? Moreover, they didn't know what even more terrifying existence was waiting for them. Lin Xian also frowned. It was really shocking. It seemed that the demon city was much more powerful than he had imagined. He originally thought that people like Lei Chong and the White-Eyed Demon Saint were among the top geniuses in the demon city. Now it seemed that they were completely wrong. He estimated that they were above average. They might not even be among the top geniuses. People like the 9-headed Qilin and the Thunder Spirit physique were probably the top geniuses. Moreover, this was only the current generation. The demon city's inheritance had been passed down for more than 10,000 years. Who knew how many generations had passed and how many terrifying experts there were? It seemed that the future path would be very difficult. However, Lin Xian didn't care. No matter how difficult it was, he would still leave. He would use the sword in his hand to cut a bloody path. Just as the crowd was discussing in shock and Lin Xian was thinking, a voice suddenly sounded. Although the 9-headed Qilin is powerful, it's not invincible. I know of a way to restrain the 9-headed Qilin. Chapter 3806. What? Everyone went crazy when they heard that. They all turned their heads to look. Who's talking nonsense again? Even the people from Thousand Face City had darkened their faces. Restrain their prodigy? What a joke. Let's see who's so reckless. Soon they realized that the person who spoke was the young man sitting opposite Lin Xian. Even Lin Xian was stunned. The other party knows a way to restrain it. Who is he? The young man waved his folding fan and smiled faintly. Brother Lin, we've hit it off. Today I'll tell you the way to break it. As he said that, he stretched his head forward as if he wanted to whisper. The others also stretched their necks, wanting to hear what kind of magical method could restrain a heaven-defying existence like the 9-headed Qilin. Lin Xian was also surprised. He also wanted to hear what the other party had to say. Therefore he did not refuse. However, at that moment something strange happened. The young man with the folding fan leaned his head closer to Lin Xian's ear. Suddenly, a cold murderous intent burst out from his eyes. His folding fan pierced towards Lin Xian's throat. Boom. The void shattered in an instant. Many people were sent flying by the murderous intent. Some of them even split open. Screams of horror rang out. Lin Xian's pupils constricted and he instantly retreated. However, the distance was too close and too sudden. So much so that a bloody wound appeared on his neck. Boom. Endless black qilin tattoos condensed on his neck. At the same time, a terrifying sword qi rushed out of his body. Clang. It struck the folding fan, causing it to be blocked for a moment. Lin Xian pulled away and quickly retreated. Seeing that the attack had missed, the person attacked again. He waved his folding fan and it slashed down like a heavenly blade. It was another fatal blow. This time, it slashed towards Lin Xian's forehead. Scram. Lin Xian felt a burning pain on his neck. It was obvious that he had been injured by the previous attack, but the other party still dared to kill him. He punched out and the surrounding space instantly exploded. The berserk power sent that person flying. That person was sent flying. He tore through the void and instantly fled outside the building. Lin Xian chased after him. The people in the building were completely stunned. What happened just now? Someone was trying to assassinate Lin Wudi. And he almost succeeded. It couldn't be. Who was so daring? Did they not want to live anymore? Let's go and take a look. These people also followed him out. The people from the city of 10,000 demons and the city of thunder gods were the same. Their eyes were filled with regret. Why didn't their attack kill Yi Fuqian? Lin Xian was very fast, but his opponent wasn't slow either. Moreover, they were very good at hiding. After Lin Xian came out, he could no longer see anyone. Golden light burst out from his eyes as he attacked his surroundings. Suddenly, an extremely terrifying force appeared behind him, stabbing towards his back. Here it comes again. This assassin actually didn't leave and was still attacking. He didn't dodge. Instead, he waved his hand and used stellar transposition to reverse the force. With a poochie sound, he cut off the other party's arm. Poof. Blood splattered and a muffled groan sounded. That arm fell to the ground together with the fan. In the void, that person was terrified. He didn't expect that his attack would miss. Moreover, he was injured by the other party. After his attack missed, he instantly disappeared. Lin Xian threw a punch over, causing the void to explode, but he was already gone. Lin Xian glanced at the arm and fan that had fallen to the ground. With a cold sneer, he stepped on the fan with one foot. He looked around. Now he recognized the fan. It was the fan of the person who had killed Gao Yu. But at that time they were disguised and he didn't recognize them. Now it seemed that they were the same group of people. But he didn't understand why these people wanted to attack him. Was it because he interrupted the other party's assassination? The people in the building also rushed over. They saw the blood on the ground and a broken arm, but the person was already gone. Lin Wudi was standing there perfectly fine. Has he been killed? As expected of Lin Wudi. He managed to dodge such a terrifying attack and he even succeeded in killing the other party. Lin Wudi only had one arm and he looked very serious. It seemed that he hadn't killed his opponent yet, but he had severely injured him. Everyone was discussing. The people from Thousand Demon City and Thunder God City were also frowning. Isn't it too unbelievable that the other party isn't dead? Buzz. At that instant, another murderous glow appeared. A ray of light slashed towards Lin Xian's right leg. It seemed that the other party wanted to take back the fan. The other two rays of light pierced towards Lin Xian's head and heart. The three of them attacked together. It was a fatal attack. There's actually another expert. Everyone was shocked. Lin Xian's face also darkened. There's more than one assassin? Humph, if that's the case, I'll go on a killing spree. With a furious roar, he flew into the sky like an eagle. The sword chi on his body exploded and the world exploded. The frightening power directly sent the attacks of the three people flying. He kept one foot on the fan and didn't move. His other foot swept out like a coiling dragon. In the void, a mist of blood spread out. It was obvious that one of them had been kicked to death. That person quickly escaped. Lin Xian's left hand was like a knife, and he slashed down. With a scream, that person's soul was split in half. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At that moment, the other two assassins attacked again. Between heaven and earth, one after another, killing arrows rushed over, completely enveloping Lin Xian. There was even a large black net that fell from the sky, completely covering the void around Lin Xian. This large net carried an extremely terrifying evil aura, causing everyone to tremble. It was obvious that this was a sacred artifact and a sinister one at that. It could destroy a person's chi and blood, and damage a martial artist's foundation. Lin Xian reached out a large golden hand, and directly grabbed at the large black net. He grabbed it with one hand and then struck with force. With a crack, the large net was torn in half. At the same time, he waved his other hand and blew up one of the assassins. The other assassin was also injured by his eye technique. His body was cut into 3 parts and he screamed in the sky. In an instant, 1 was dead and 2 were injured. Lin Xian continued to attack. He pulled out the Great Destruction Spear and it was very sour. He also sent the souls of the other 2 assassins flying. The 3 top assassins were killed and their corpses and blood fell. But soon the corpses burned fiercely. It was a ball of red flame. It was abnormally strange. In an instant, the corpses of the 3 assassins, including their storage rings, were burned to ashes. They were dead and their corpses were destroyed. This shocked everyone. Where did this assassin come from? Wasn't he too ruthless? He didn't leave any clues. Lin Xian also frowned. It was indeed strange. It seemed that this ball of flame didn't belong to these assassins. It was forcefully planted in these people's bodies by the assassins' organization. Once these people died, these flames would be triggered and their corpses would be destroyed. Chapter 3807. Boom. The ground cracked open and a hand reached out, grabbing the folding fan on the ground and escaping underground. Lin Xian sneered, and with a stomp of his foot, the ground below was instantly torn into pieces. Everyone could see fresh blood gushing out from the wound, piercing through the void. Obviously, another top assassin was injured. As for whether he was dead or not, they didn't know. The big hand reached down, grabbing countless rocks and blood. However, he didn't find any corpse, which made him frown. He looked in all directions, his golden eyes flickering with excitement. He didn't see anyone else. Did they already leave? The others were also surprised. This was a strange assassination, but it was enough to show how terrifying these assassins were. It also showed how terrifying Lin Xian was. Where did these assassins come from? Was it done by an enemy force? Everyone instantly thought of Thunder God City and Thousand Monster City. However, they didn't dare to say anything. Lin Xian also frowned. It seemed that he had to ask Gao Yu if she found out the true identity of these assassins. Although he didn't find anyone else, Lin Xian didn't relax. He didn't dare to be careless. It seemed that he had to be vigilant at all times in the future. If he didn't have so many trump cards today, he would have been killed. Killing one person in 10 steps, leaving no trace for 1,000 miles. At this moment, a voice suddenly rang out on the quiet street. Then, a drunk man with messy hair and a face full of beard staggered on the street, as if he would collapse at any time. Many people turned their heads to look. Who was this person? A drunkard, damn, daring to say such arrogant words. Could it be that he was also an assassin? Lin Xian frowned. For a moment he thought it was Wine Lord, but he soon realized that it wasn't. Although this person was also a drunkard, he wasn't Wine Lord. Who was the other party? That person staggered and came near Lin Xian, causing everyone's heart to beat faster. Fuck, are they going to make a move on Lin Xian again? Lin Xian was also ready to attack. However, that person did not do anything. Instead, he continued to shake the ground. He took out a wine gourd and spoke as he opened it. Once the matter was done, he would leave with a flick of his sleeves, concealing his achievements and fame. After saying that, he raised his head and drank the wine in the gourd. Then he suddenly raised his head and spat it toward the sky. Flames overflowed into the heavens, covering the 9 heavens. A figure was screaming miserably in the flames. Damn it, how dare you meddle in our business? The murderous aura on that figure was incomparable. The fan in his hand formed a boundless storm to resist the flames. The world of mortals actually appeared again. They deserved to be killed. The drunkard's eyes flashed with a cold light. With a wave of his hand, the flames in the sky turned into countless red lotuses that burned that person to ashes. He was dead. A terrifying assassin was actually killed. Everyone was shocked. It seemed that this drunkard was also an expert. Lin Xian was even more shocked. That person was still there, and he hadn't noticed it before. In the next moment, he discovered that a cloak had fallen from the flames. It had already been burned into tatters. It was a sacred artifact and one that could hide its aura. No wonder the other party could stay in the air without him noticing. However, how did this drunkard discover it? At the same time, he was even more shocked. He finally knew the identity of these assassins. The others also screamed. What? The world of mortals was the legendary assassin organization? Heavens, didn't they say that it hadn't been opened for 10,000 years? Did they revive again? At this moment, everyone was in an uproar. Even the experts from the Myriad Demon City and Thunder God City had a drastic change in expression. This was big news and they had to report it quickly. Who was this drunkard? How could he instantly recognize the world of mortals? Everyone was even more shocked. An old man gasped. Could it be that he was from the Heavenly Law Alliance? Heavenly Law Alliance? It can't be, right? Everyone was stunned. Wasn't that an extremely mysterious organization? Why would they appear here? They hadn't appeared for thousands of years, right? Everyone was shocked again. This time the opening of the Celestial Fate Star was really too shocking. So many top monsters had appeared. Moreover, the world of mortals had appeared again, and even the Heavenly Law Alliance had appeared. Each and every one of them was an earth-shattering event. Could it be that someone was going to obtain a terrifying heaven's will on planet Celestial Fate? Could it be that someone had obtained the destiny of a great emperor? Needless to say, it was really possible. These people were incomparably excited. Lin Xian was also surprised. He finally knew the identity of these assassins. The world of mortals was a very familiar name. This was because the world of mortals existed in the true spirit world. However, he didn't expect that they would also have one here. From the looks of it, this assassin organization should have covered the heavens and 10,000 worlds. As expected of an assassin organization that had been passed down since ancient times. It was too terrifying. Since the world of mortals had appeared, then what about hell and heavenly court? Would they also cover the heavens and 10,000 worlds? Also, did the world of mortals kill him because he had ruined their plan? Then why did they kill Gaoyu? Was it because someone wanted to target Gaoyu? And this drunkard in front of him was called a member of the Heavenly Law Alliance. What kind of organization was this? He looked at the other party with a hint of surprise. The other party's aura was too mysterious. Every move of his carried the aura of the Great Tao. He was shocked. This was an extremely terrifying expert. Therefore he immediately walked up and cupped his fists. Many thanks for Senior's help. This kid was very grateful. The drunkard looked at Lin Xian and sized him up. Suddenly he grinned. Little kid, not bad, not bad. This old man will give you a jug of wine. As he spoke, he took out a wine gourd from his bosom and threw it to Lin Xian. Then he turned around and laughed. This. Lin Xian looked at the wine gourd in his hand and smiled bitterly. Many thanks, Senior. The surrounding people were all stunned. Wow, a member of the Heavenly Law Alliance actually gave something to Lin Xian. How much face did this Lin Wudi have? Could it be that the Heavenly Law Alliance thought highly of him? It couldn't be. If that was the case, who would be able to deal with him in the future? That shouldn't be the case. One had to be very careful when choosing people. Now it was just a jug of wine. It didn't mean anything. Perhaps the senior of the Heavenly Law Alliance was drunk and made an error in judgment. Some people cried out in surprise while others gritted their teeth. Lin Xian was baffled. What? Thought highly of? What was the Heavenly Law Alliance doing? He looked at the people beside him and asked, "Who is there? Tell me the details." There was a woman beside him who was in her 20s. When she heard Lin Xian's question, she was so excited that her face flushed red. Great God Lin, are you asking me a question? Great God Lin is talking to me. She was one of Lin Xian's followers. At this moment she was so excited that she almost fainted. She said that the Heavenly Law Alliance was a very ancient organization. Legend had it that they represented the will of the Heavenly Law. That's all for today. I'll go to sleep after reading. I'm going to sleep. I'm exhausted. Chapter 3808. Once they arrived, they would act on behalf of the Heavenly Tao and enforce justice on behalf of the Heavenly Tao. For example, the Murderous World, an evil assassin organization. Furthermore, they had another mission, and that was to choose the Heaven's Chosen One. Once they determined that the Chosen One was the Chosen One, they would protect him, similar to a guardian. However, guardians were usually experts sent by their own sects, and they were willing to protect him. Being chosen as the Chosen One meant that his future achievements were limitless. He might even become a great emperor. Therefore, this was a very important signal. Every top genius wanted to be chosen as the Chosen One by the Heavenly Tao Union. After Lin Xian heard this, he finally understood. No wonder these people looked at him strangely. It turned out that there was such a saying. However, this old man gave him wine, which meant that he really thought of him as the Chosen One. With another dazzling title, there would probably be more people targeting him in the future. However, Lin Xian didn't care. He opened the gourd and drank a mouthful. What a good wine. Lin Xian exclaimed in surprise. Ever since the wine lord left, he hadn't drunk such good wine. The people from Thunder God City snorted. Kid, you're just lucky. That heavenly Dao Union expert must be drunk. Otherwise, do you think he would take a fancy to you? That's right, you're nothing compared to our nine-headed Qilin. The people from Thousand Demon City also snorted in disdain. Hearing this, Lin Xian turned his head and stared at the two people from Great Sage City. He then walked forward. This scene caused the surrounding spectators to be incomparably shocked. As for the two people from Great Sage City, they took 2 steps back. This made them feel very embarrassed. They roared crazily. Damn kid, what do you want? You dare to touch us, you're dead. That's right, our experts are nearby. The people from Holy City gritted their teeth. Lin Xian laughed. Are you that afraid of me? Damn it, there was no way to answer this. The two people from Great Sage City were really mad. To be honest, they were really afraid. This was simply a demon king. Lin Xian sneered. Since you're afraid of me, then be a well-behaved tortoise. You don't have the strength to jump up and down in front of me. Do you really think that I don't dare to kill you? After saying this, Lin Xian's body emitted a biting cold killing intent. The two people from Great Sage City felt their scalps tingling. The people from Thunder God City roared, Our lightning spiritual body, of course, will be able to tear you into pieces. That's right, when our chief disciple, the nine-headed Qilin, of course. Lightning spirit body and 9 Qilins. I admit that they are very powerful, but that is only for them. If they are dissatisfied, they can come directly to me. As for you, you don't have the right to jump up and down in front of me. Your lion's head is not bad. I'll cut it off later and braise it. And you? Ace, of course, of the demon of the demon. Hearing this, the two-headed lion and the other black water python trembled in fear and almost knelt on the ground. The people from Thunder God City also swallowed their saliva. At this time, Lin Xian turned his head and stared at the people from Thunder God City. You're all humans, right? Then you won't taste good. Since that's the case, all of you should obediently become my slaves. I just happen to be lacking some subordinates. Damn it, you dare? I'll fight it out with you. The people from Thunder God City roared. The people from Demon City turned around and fled. What kind of joke is this? This person opened his mouth and wanted to eat them. He's simply a madman. What, you still want to leave? Provoking me time and time again, do you really think that my temper is so good? Lin Xian's eyes burst out with a sharp light. He waved his hand and endless golden flames rushed out, enveloping this part of the world. At the same time he made his move. He crossed his arms, and the 5 elemental laws condensed into the desolate tower. He threw it over and it directly enveloped the 3 people from Thunder God City. Damn it, get lost. The 3 people from Thunder God City roared crazily. They kept attacking. They unleashed the terrifying Thunder God Law to resist. However, this was an extreme weapon evolved by Lin Xian. It directly shattered all the thunder and blasted the 3 people to the ground. The earth trembled and the void shattered. Then Lin Xian turned his head, waved his arm, and a sword chi flew out, slashing at the two-headed lion. At the same time, another sword slashed at the Blackwater mystical snake. The golden lion formed a seal with its palms, opened its mouth, and the 2 heads spat out terrifying sound waves. The sky fell and the earth cracked. Everyone was sent flying by this force. Retreat quickly. Let them retreat frantically. They didn't expect that Lin Wudi would fight against the 5 experts. Lin Xian sneered and let out a dragon roar. The great dragon sword soul in his body revolved, and directly shattered the sound waves. Not only that, the 2-headed lion was even trembling. He felt the suppression of his bloodline, and his soul was trembling. Damn it, how could the dragon roar be like this? The next moment he was so scared that he wet his pants, because he found that another sound was coming from the other party. That was the sound of Qilin, and it almost made him faint. Oh. Just as he was in a daze, one of his heads was cut off. Blood splattered everywhere and he fell from the sky. On the other side, the Blackwater mystical snake tore through the void and turned to escape. She didn't dare to attack. This was really a demon king. She still couldn't escape. A hand grabbed her body and a third of her tail was cut off. She was in so much pain that she rolled in the sky and shattered the void, but she still couldn't escape from that hand. In an instant, the 2 of them were thrown to the ground and completely sealed by Lin Xian's 10,000 dragons diagram. Young Master Lin, please spare us. We were wrong. The Blackwater mystical snake turned into a woman and kept begging for mercy. One of the 2-headed lion's heads was cut off. At this moment he was also crawling on the ground, trembling. Young Master Lin, please be magnanimous and spare our lives. The other 3 people from Thunder God City were also begging for mercy. That was too cruel. Lin Xian sneered. Now you know how to be afraid. Why did you do it earlier? I told you that I'm the 3rd generation's chief disciple, and I represent the sacred city. How dare you provoke and humiliate me? You must be tired of living. Do you want to live? Let your elders come with sincerity. Let's see if they can buy your lives. Lin Xian sat down directly. Then he used the 5 elements law to create a cauldron and threw the golden lion's head into it. Then he used the law of water to form seawater and started boiling it with the 9 yang divine fire. At the same time, he skinned the blackwater mystical snake and cut the tail into pieces and threw it in. Then Lin Xian went to the restaurant and bought some ingredients for cooking soup. He threw them all in and began to wait. Soon, the fragrance of meat wafted out. Countless runes circled in the sky, and the surrounding people were stunned. Damn, it's really eating. The blackwater mystical snake screamed and fainted. The golden lion also punched himself out. He didn't dare to look anymore. Otherwise, his heart wouldn't be able to take it. Chapter 3809. The 3 from Thunder God City were so scared that they peed their pants. They knew that Lin Fan was brutal, but they didn't expect him to be so crazy. They didn't dare to be presumptuous anymore. They even fainted from the shock. It's about time to eat. Lin Xian looked and narrowed his eyes. The people around him also swallowed their saliva. Just the fragrance alone was unbearable for them. If they took a bite, they would be like a god. Seeing the people around him drooling, especially his followers, Lin Xian smiled and said, "Do you want to eat? Come and have a bite." These people had protected him before, and they didn't hesitate to go against 2 great sage cities. He naturally wouldn't treat them badly. Could they? Those followers were a little scared. Lin Xian said, "It's okay, I'll treat you. If the 2 great sage cities dare to trouble you, just tell me. I'll go and tear them apart." Great God, Lin was indeed powerful. These followers beamed with joy as they gathered around Zhang Xian. A gluttonous feast was about to begin. Everyone ate until their faces were red, and their blood was boiling. Some even started to bleed. It couldn't be helped. The vitality contained was too strong and they probably ate too much. Lin Xian's pores also opened up and rays of light flowed out. He felt that his physique was even stronger. It seemed that this was also a path of evolution. He had to eat more in the future. Hearing this, the blackwater mystical snake and the golden lion who had just woken up fainted again. The news spread quickly and the world was in an uproar. Lin Wudi ate heartily again. He was really a glutton. However, he was only eating demonic beasts. He probably hadn't eaten other saints in his life. The 1,000 Demon City and Thunder God City were really miserable. First, they were killed and now they were suppressed by Lin Wudi. They probably lost all their face. However, other than Lin Wudi's matter, there was another thing that shocked them. Was the world of men back? Heavens, it couldn't be. With such a terrifying assassin organization, they probably had to be careful in the future. Some people began to become vigilant. When the New Moon Clan's people heard this news, they were also shocked. Lin Wudi had been killed and it was done by someone from the human world. Could it be that the people who assassinated their princess were also from the human world? Damn it, why did such an ancient sect revive at this time? Was it because of the destined star? They did not know. This was because these ancient sects covered all the realms in the universe, and they weren't just found in the 2-star realms. The 2nd astral realm and even the legendary 3rd astral realm also had them. They had no idea why the other party would make a move at this time. They could only send more experts to protect their princess. At the same time, the appearance of the Heavenly Tao also shocked these people. Could it be that this organization had come out to choose the chosen one? What? The Heavenly Tao Union gave Lin Wudi a jug of wine. Could it be that Lin Wudi was favored? Damn it, that's impossible. Must be a mistake. The other party had drunk too much, so there was no way he could trust him. Some saint cities were fuming with rage when they heard this news. What kind of joke was this? Lin Wudi had been chosen as the chosen one? They didn't want to believe it. It was time for their chief disciple to appear. They couldn't let Lin Wudi be in the limelight anymore. Some big families in the saint cities began to secretly make up their minds to promote their own peerless geniuses. Among them, the people of Myriad Demon City and Thunder God Sacred City were incomparably depressed. Their disciples were still in the hands of the other party. Moreover, the other party had threatened to let their elders go with sincerity. Damn it, the other party was extorting them. What should they do? Should they secretly make a move? The people of Myriad Demon City were discussing. An elder shook his head. There was no need to rush. Let this brat be smug for a few days. When he enters the destined star, let's see if our people don't kill him. Didn't he ask us to go see him? All right, bring a jug of 1,000-year-old spirit tea to see him. Be sure to bring our people back. We can't afford any more losses. Soon, a minor saint brought the 1,000-year-old spirit tea to the gathering. On the other side, the people of Thunder God City were also gnashing their teeth in anger. They were also discussing what to do. However, one person couldn't bear it anymore and took the lead. He was Lei Chang's brother, who had just rushed over from the Saint City. He was here to take revenge. He must kill Lin Wudi with his own hands. In the giant city, the aroma filled the air. Everyone was swallowing their saliva. Although they couldn't eat meat, they also longed to drink a mouthful of soup. At this moment, someone screamed. The minor saint of Myriad Demon City had arrived. As soon as these words came out, many people rubbed their necks and didn't dare to have any other thoughts. Lin Xian and the others also heard it. Lin Xian said, "All right, dinner is over. Everyone hurry up and leave." With that, he waved his hand and put all the unfinished food into the black earth. Then he wiped his mouth and his eyes lit up. Those followers also quickly hid in the crowd, widening their eyes to watch. Would Lin Wudi be in danger? It should be fine. After all, there were rules in the Saint City. The seniors couldn't make a move at will. Otherwise there would be a great battle. In the sky, a stream of light rushed down and turned into a woman. She was a very beautiful woman with a lot of green light jumping on her body. As soon as she appeared, she saw the two suppressed demon saints. She frowned slightly and walked forward. "Nephew Lin, the people of Myriad Demon City don't know how to behave and offended you. This time I brought a pot of 1,000-year-old spirit tea to share with you. Why don't you let my people go?" To be honest, Lin Xian didn't care about the 1,000-year-old spirit tea at all. What he wanted was the Saint City's attitude. He wanted the world to know. Those who spoke to Lin Xian were either top-notch monstrous geniuses or experts of the older generation. Ordinary saints weren't qualified. "Senior, you're too polite." Lin Xian took the spirit tea and said, "We're all from the Saint City, so we should help each other. I don't want to make a move either. It's just that these little guys are too presumptuous and unruly. I helped the Saint City teach them a lesson." As he spoke, he removed the seal of laws. The two-headed lion and blackwater mystical snake woke up. When they heard Lin Xian's words, they were so angry that they almost vomited blood. What kind of tone was that? Was he facing them with the attitude of an elder? Little guys? Damn it, was he even 200 years old? Any one of them was more than 1,000 years old. However, they didn't dare to say anything. After all, they were inferior to him. It wasn't easy for them to survive. The two of them removed the seal and quickly came behind the elder. Their eyes were filled with fear. The corner of the woman's mouth twitched. Lin Xian's tone really didn't sound like a young junior. To be honest, she was a small saint. Her status was very powerful. When the geniuses of the Saint City saw her, they would all be respectful. It was the first time she saw someone with Lin Xian's attitude. He was afraid that he would go crazy if he stayed, so he prepared to leave. However, at this moment there was a loud bang in the sky. A figure descended from the sky, bringing with it a powerful storm. Who was Lin Wudi? He was here to die. Everyone was in an uproar. They couldn't believe that someone dared to provoke Lin Wudi. Chapter 38:10. The people of Demon City also stopped. Those minor saints squinted their eyes. Interesting. She didn't leave but stopped to watch from the side. She had heard a lot of rumors. She wanted to see Lin Wudi's strength with her own eyes. Lin Xian was the same. He raised his head and looked at the sky. "Do the people of Thunder God still dare to attack me? Is this your decision? Don't blame me for being impolite." With a wave of his hand, the heads of the 3 Thunder God cultivators were cut off. The souls of the 3 screamed in horror. They were stunned. Was he going to give up on them? "How dare you? Damn it." The figure landed on the ground. Bringing along countless laws, he roared angrily. "This is not the decision of our Saint City. This is my personal will. How dare you kill my brother? I'm here to take revenge. Let go of the people of our Saint City." "Who is your brother?" Lin Xian waved his hand. "I've killed too many people. I can't remember. You're courting death. My brother is Lei Tsong. Today I'll make you wish you were dead." The man in front was filled with killing intent. "Lin Xian, you're surprised. Lei Chong? Humph, he deserves to die. He provoked me again and again. I've already let him off easy by letting him live for so long. As for letting your people go, it's not up to you. Let your elders do it. Brat, you're courting death. Lei Qian roared. The other party didn't give him face. Damn it. Lin Xian smiled. Who do you think you are? Why should I give you face? Humph, Thunder God City is too unruly. If it's the same as Demon City, I'll definitely let them go. But you're too much. Do you really think I won't dare to do it? Lin Xian turned around and killed the souls of the 3 Thunder God cultivators with 3 slashes. The 3 corpses kept twitching and stopped breathing. Dead. Everyone was stunned. They didn't expect Lin Xian to kill them so easily. There was no room for negotiation. The 2-headed lion and the Blackwater mystical snake felt their scalps go numb. Fortunately, their elders came. Otherwise, their ending would be very miserable. Even the eyes of the little saints from Myriad Demon City flickered. This person was as crazy as the rumor said. Lei Qian, on the other hand, was so angry that he shouted, "You dare to kill!" He was mad with anger. You're wrong. I didn't kill them. You forced them to their deaths. If you hadn't come, the 3 of them wouldn't have died. Do you have any last words? If not, I'll send you on your way. Go to hell. Lei Qian Yang Tian roared, he must kill the other party. Purple lightning surged in his palm, carrying with it an aura that could crush mountains and rivers. He rushed forward. At this moment he was like a god of thunder, capable of sweeping through everything. The surrounding people felt their hair stand on end. Lei Qian was too powerful. His cultivation was at the middle stage of the 5th heavenly layer. He was so strong. No wonder he dared to come and kill Lin Wuti. The 2-headed lion and the dark water mystical snake felt their scalps go numb as well. This man was at a higher level than them, so there was a huge gap between their powers. Don't look at how Lin Wuti could sweep through them, but whether or not he could sweep through a mid-stage 5th heavenly layer cultivator was not certain. Boom boom boom. In an instant, the thunder cracked and the place where Lin Xian was standing was completely destroyed. It was a scene of destruction. However, in the next moment, space was torn apart. A figure with golden light radiating from his body charged out of the sea. It was Lin Wuti. He's fine. That's great. The followers exclaimed in surprise. The others were also shocked. Lin Wuti could fight against a mid-stage 5th heavenly layer sage? It was too unbelievable. How many realms did he cross? From early stage 4th heavenly layer to early stage 5th heavenly layer, it was a major realm, and then to mid-stage 5th heavenly layer it was a minor realm. That was a major realm plus a minor realm. Wasn't this gap a little too big? 4 minor realms. Many people gasped. To be able to cross a minor realm and kill someone, that person was already considered an incredible genius. The other party crossed 4 minor realms. This was heaven-defying. Lin Xian charged out of the sea of lightning. He raised his palm and the laws revolved around it, forming a sword light that flickered with an unparalleled aura. He didn't die? How was that possible? Lei Qian was also stunned. In his opinion, he was so many realms higher than the other party. It was simply too easy. However, he did not expect the other party's strength to be so strong that it exceeded his expectations. Kill. He roared again and charged out. The 2 of them turned into 2 streams of light that collided in the sky. Divine light exploded, and the sky seemed to split open. Both of them were extremely powerful. Lightning surrounded Lei Qian's body. It was like a heavenly tribulation that caused the entire void to distort. His speed was extremely fast and he turned into streaks of lightning aura. It was terrifying. On the other side, Lin Xian roared. Sword light surrounded his body as he charged over. He was like a peerless god of war, fighting with his opponent head-on. He did not retreat at all. He was simply a violent humanoid Tyrannosaurus. People could even hear the roar of a dragon from Lin Xian's body. After hundreds of moves, the battle between the 2 became even more intense. How was that possible? How could he block it? Lei Qian was completely crazy. How did the other party cross 4 minor realms? Damn it. Lightning light foot. Endless runes appeared on Lei Qian's feet. They were densely packed, causing his feet to emit an unparalleled light. The moment he stepped on the soles of his feet, the entire ground shook violently. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This was a terrifying divine ability, and it was a law divine ability. This Lei Qian was really too powerful. As expected of the powerhouse of Lei Chong. Everyone exclaimed. Some people said that they heard that he had just rushed over from the holy city. He had been cultivating in seclusion all along. If he had not heard the news of his brother's death, he probably would not have come out of seclusion. Such a person was a cultivation madman. Once he encountered such a person, he would probably end up in a miserable state. Everyone was discussing animatedly. They felt that Lin Xian had encountered a peerless enemy. Lin Xian frowned. A law divine ability. The other party's kick was really powerful. It was as if two ancient demonic mountains had descended from the sky and were about to tear him apart. He shouted coldly. His back was like a dragon, emitting a terrifying aura. He punched out with both fists and two golden crows roared at the sky. The sacred fire on them covered the sky. Boom boom boom. This was a very intense collision. One was a law divine ability, and the other was a divine beast that was created. Neither was willing to give an inch. After one attack, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. A violent aura surged into the sky. The two of them also kept retreating. Lin Xian felt his arm go numb. He had to admit that the other party was very strong. So what? He circulated the energy in his body and quickly recovered his numb arm. On the other side, Lei Qian was completely stunned. The other party had actually blocked his law divine ability. It was really too unbelievable. Could it be that the other party was really strong to such an extent? No wonder he could kill his brother. But so what if the other party was strong? Today he was going to personally kill the other party. Chapter 38:11. With a cold snort, the thunder on his body erupted again. However, a figure flew over from afar. Stop. A furious roar resounded through the 9 heavens. Lei Qian stopped and looked up at the sky. He cried out in surprise and the others were also stunned. The people of Thunder Saint City had arrived. A middle-aged man from Thunder God City landed and looked at the 3 people who were suppressed to death. His face was extremely ugly. Lin Wudi, you dare to kill our people? You went back on your words. The small saint was furious. His aura was extremely violent. Everyone was trembling. Is he going to fight? Lin Xian sneered. I went back on my words? Why don't you say that your Thunder God City didn't teach you well? I said I wanted to save your life and came with sincerity. However, you didn't come. Your disciple came to kill me. Of course, I won't be lenient. Look at the people of Demon City. Didn't I let them go? You guys provoked me first. I didn't go back on my words. Damn it. The small saint's face was extremely ugly. He glanced at the people of Demon City and found that they were still alive. Who asked you to come? He stared at Lei Qian. Lei Qian said, Elder, I want to avenge my brother. This kid is too arrogant. He killed so many experts of Thunder God City and still wants to negotiate with us. He doesn't have the qualification. Elder, let me do it. I can kill him. The small saint was silent. He also knew Lei Qian's strength. He was a mid-stage 5th heaven expert. Moreover, it seemed that both sides had already fought before. He was still very confident in Lei Qian. Seeing that the elder didn't object, Lei Qian was delighted. He quickly turned his head and stared at Lin Xian. Do you dare to continue the fight to the death? Why wouldn't I dare? Lin Xian sneered. However, when you are killed, don't ask your elder for help. You are eloquent. The one who will die will definitely be you. The lightning on Lei Qian's body erupted again, wanting to devour the 9 heavens. On the other side, the golden light on Lin Xian's body bloomed. He was like a god of war. The aura between the two became more and more terrifying. A battle was about to break out. However, at this time an old man walked over. Both of you please wait. The old man descended from the sky, followed by a group of powerful saints. You dare to stop me? Lei Qian was instantly furious. Their elder had already acquiesced. How dare someone dare to stop him? Lin Xian frowned slightly and asked, Who are you? The old man said, Young masters, I am the city lord of this city. I know that you two are going to fight, so I would like to give you two a suggestion. Speak. Lei Qian snorted coldly. The elder laughed. Both of them were peerless geniuses, experts at the Saint Realm. The battle between the two of them would definitely be devastating. A small city like this would not be able to withstand it. However, there was an arena in the city. It was an ancient arena that had been passed down since ancient times. It was a place specially prepared for saints to fight. Why don't the two of you move over there and fight? And? Lin Xian nodded. Let's not implicate others in our feud. Lei Qt. Why wouldn't I dare? Since you've chosen your own grave, I'll fulfill your wish. Lei Qian sneered. Lead the way. All right. This old man will lead the way. The old man soared into the sky and flew towards the distance. Lei Qian's figure flashed. Lin Xian also flew into the sky. The Thunder God City's little saint and myriad demon cities' little saint followed. The surrounding people were in an uproar. Are they going to fight to the death? Let's go and take a look. How could they miss such an exciting battle? In an instant, countless people flew towards the distance. At the same time, the news spread quickly. It was said that Lin Wuti and the experts of Thunder God City were going to fight to the death. The news spread across the world. Someone asked, "What's going on? Didn't Lin Wuti just kill a genius of Thunder God City? Didn't he suppress 3 other geniuses? Could it be that the negotiation fell through? Is there going to be a big battle? Who is the one who fought Thunder God City? I'm not interested in watching if he's too weak." It was Lei Chang's brother Lei Qian. He had just rushed over from Saint City. His cultivation base was at the mid-stage of the 5th heavenly layer. He was going to kill Lin Wuti cruelly. What? A mid-stage 5th heavenly layer saint? Such an expert has also appeared? Many people sucked in a breath of cold air. Let's go and take a look. That Lin Wuti might really be killed. They had long found him an eyesore. Some of the geniuses of Saint City spoke. The people of Thunder God City sneered. Who does Lin Wuti think he is? Senior brother Lei Qian can kill him without the help of the Thunder Spirit body. These people also left. This world took action. They were going to watch the battle of the century. Otherwise, the people of the other 3 moons would also be alarmed. A mid-stage 5th heavenly layer was already a very terrifying cultivation base. Such a person was definitely a super expert. Could Lin Wuti, with his cultivation at the early stage of the 4th heaven, really contend against him? If he couldn't resist, he would die. However, if he could resist, he would be too heaven-defying. He had crossed 4 small realms. Such a person couldn't exist. The people of the other 3 moons also took action. That kid, is he going to fight? When the dark red divine dragon received the news, it swung its tail and rushed out. On the other side, He Shan and the North Demon also received the news. Humph, he is indeed a troublemaker. I can still hear his news from a world away. He Shan shook his head helplessly and also tore the void. On the other side, the North Demon also went on his way. At this moment, all the experts, elites, and geniuses gathered in the ancient arena. The ancient arena was built with special stones. The formations engraved on it were all at the saint level. After countless years of support, it could be said that even a minor saint couldn't destroy it. Lin Xian and Lei Qian could go all out here. At this moment, the 2 of them stood facing each other. The aura on their bodies was incomparable. Lei Qian was surrounded by more and more people. The corner of his mouth raised into a smile. Very well, he was going to trample his opponent under his feet in front of everyone. I have to say, your Thunder God City is really stupid. You actually attracted so many people. Do you think it's a glorious thing to be killed by me in front of so many people? I reckon that when the time comes, Thunder Saint City's face will be lost because of you. Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back and said coldly. As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people were in an uproar. This Lin Wuti is too confident, isn't he? That's right, can he really kill Lei Qian? I looked at the cliff. It's not that easy to cross 4 realms. Not only that, I have never heard of anyone who can cross 4 realms. No matter how heaven-defying this kid is, he can't do it. I originally wanted to let you live for a while more, but now it seems that you are asking for death. I will fulfill your wish. Lei Qian's feet once again burst out with shocking lightning runes. The Thunder God's feat was displayed by him. With every step he took, the ancient arena trembled and countless large cracks appeared around him. This law divine ability made the surrounding people's faces change. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.